The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
Why?
let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pig!
Damn it! Your friend tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Overreaction Monday, July 22nd, 2024. This program starts now. We can't thank you enough for joining us on this glorious Overreaction Monday. A lot happened over the weekend, including a lot of NFL football teams getting back onto the field and having practice highlights. News flash, the Chiefs is still going to be the Chiefs.
Yeah.
There's this one video that hit the internet this weekend that you had to see. It was Patrick Mahomes on day one of practice, 11 on 11, a couple different 7-on-7s. Patrick Mahomes on his bullshit back foot fadeaway deep ball touchdown. Xavier Worthy, he's the rookie that broke the fastest 40 of all time record.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How does he end up on the Chiefs? None of us know. Of course, he got his pick traded for by the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs, and then they pick up another weapon. When last year, the conversation about this Chiefs team was, you know, the weapons that Patrick Mahomes has around him are nowhere near the best that he's had in his entire career. They still win the Super Bowl, and now they stock up, reload, get better at wide receiver. They still have the run game. They still have the defense that they have. Andy Reid's still there. Travis Kelce, sweet stash.
Oh, so good.
Day one, he's just had an incredible offseason, literally taking over the entire globe. Shows up looking like that, then he's scoring touchdowns, outrunning everybody. He'll be doing that until he's 65 years old. That is why he's the greatest tight end of all time. Whenever it's all said and done, you look at his stats, you look what he's accomplished, and if they become the first ever three-time Super Bowl champion in back-to-back years, you'd have to put a lot of the people on that roster, including shout out to Gonzalez, or to Jimmy, the dunk celebration in this entire thing. You're going to have to put a lot of people on this team on Mount Rushmores at every single position, every single title. And once you see these videos, the only thing you can think to yourself is, football's back, baby.
Hell yeah.
And they're not the only ones. Obviously, Houston Texans are doing their thing as well as other teams reporting. And the Baltimore Ravens comes with some drama. Lamar Jackson missed with some illness early. Was it food poisoning? Was it the flu? Was it?
Don't say it.
No. Don't you dare.
Don't say it.
COVID!
Maybe.
We don't know. We have no idea. Adam Schefter will be joining us in about 13 minutes to break that all down. We'll also have Sham Charania joining us later in this hour. He broke some news this weekend, obviously, in the world space on his Twitter account. He'll be coming in to chit-chat about what's going on with Team USA. We only beat South Sudan by 1. No offense, South Sudan. They came out and said, a lot of people couldn't point us out on a map. You're right. They came out and said, we don't have an indoor basketball court in the entire country. Okay, even more so. And a lot of people were disrespecting us. It's like, hey, you're a 43.5-point underdogs. We weren't the only ones disrespecting you, but we would say this Central African country is an absolute beast on the wood.
Look out.
What they did to this Team USA is hopefully slap them around a little bit, wake them up, let them know you can't just be rolling the ball out there and beating the shit out of the rest of the world. This isn't back in the day. This is 2024, and we can't be only winning by 1. This close to the Olympics. We got against Germany today at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Hopefully the team has found their synergy, found their gel, and found their mojo. Speaking of their team, LeBron James led them to that win. Obviously, he was excited. He said he likes close ones more than blowouts. Anyways, he'll be carrying the flag for the entire country of the United States of America.
Let's go.
Olympic opening ceremonies this Friday night. LeBron James will be standing on a boat representing the entire country of the United States. It'll be floating down a very poopy, very toxic, very shit-filled river called the Seine right through Paris, which is going to be beautiful views. It is going to be an incredible Olympic Games over there, and he will be the one bearing the flag for the United States. He already gave a speech in the team meeting room whenever he was told that he would be the one doing that, about unifying the country and how big of an honor it is, and how this was never a dream. Obviously, this isn't something you dream about whenever you're a kid because you don't really think it's even possible. So LeBron doing it, I think it's going to be a beautiful moment, especially when, Cy couldn't eat it.
Yeah.
Cy couldn't eat it.
Come on.
I hope he's shirtless. I hope he's jacked. I hope he's up in front of that thing just so the rest of the world knows that the United States of America still has fucking fastball.
Yeah,
Damn
bingo.
right.
Okay, this is one of the greatest American dream stories. You start looking into LeBron James, where he's come from, what he has done, how he's navigated. Has he messed up? Certainly. Anybody that's been in the eye of the media or eye of the public since they're 16, 15 years old is certainly going to take some missteps that are going to piss people off. But all in all, what this man has lived up to with the expectations that were given to him, where he's from, just a kid from Akron, and what he's been able to accomplish and make, I think it's a beautiful depiction of the American dream. So go ahead and do that thing, LeBron, and then we can't be fucking losing
No.
in the Olympics. We appreciate you boys.
Yeah, boys.
We'll talk to Shams Charania about that honor and everything else. The WNBA beat the Team USA in the WNBA All-Star Game. We'll talk about that. Great golf tournament. We'll talk about that. We also have Ryan McGee joining us in the second hour because racing had quite a weekend.
Yeah.
We'll certainly talk about all of that. And then Matt Schneidman will join us from the Atlantic, or the Athletic, sorry. The Atlantic also doesn't like us. They kind of all just blend together.
Same
Puppets, where that group of them. Okay, he's from the Athletic, covers the Green Bay Packers. There's some drama over there, which leads me to the toxic table at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Con man, we'll address the shirt at some point.
Of course. Yeah, how could you not?
It's Dog the Bounty Hunter's face
Right.
Hey, can you not see the red? Yeah, there it is.
with Taylor Swift underneath.
Yeah, her John Hancock.
It's a good meme shirt.
So I thought it was disrespectful to Taylor Swift.
Whoa.
Sure.
Okay, that's what I thought. But he promises not disrespectful at all.
No.
If you go through the history of bounty hunters, Dog, most famous, best. That's going to be the same thing for Taylor Swift whenever it goes down as musicians. Classic deflection, wild shirt to wear. Shout out to Taylor. And Dog had quite a run.
Yes,
and
he
if
did.
you were on the run, you didn't want the dog sniffing the entire, because he's Dog. The Bounty Hunter. What a run that had on him.
So good.
Let's go to Green Bay, though, where I will be tonight for Monday Night Raw.
Hell yeah.
Drama.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
Drama. 9-year NFL vet, Darius J. Butler.
Yes,
There's
sir.
drama in
It
Green
is.
Bay.
It is. We were talking about Chicago last week now.
Green
What do you
Bay.
know? What do you know?
What do you got going on in Detroit? Well, they're making corn mazes in honor of their head
Hell
coach.
yeah.
Jared Goff got his deal done. Offense coordinator returning, defense coordinator returning, whole team basically back. What are they doing in Minnesota? They're going through it right now.
Yeah.
Chicago, they got a young group that is hopefully going to take it over. Green Bay was supposed to be the one. Okay, them and Detroit are going to go.
Sure.
Jordan Love figured out how to be an NFL quarterback, led the NFL and all these things. The Green Bay Packers won a playoff game. Holy shit! The Green Bay Packers were able to go from Favre to Rodgers to Love.
What?
Guntz is a genius whenever people like me and others were calling him an idiot. This is word out of Green Bay. Jordan Love will not be practicing with the Green Bay Packers until his new deal is done. And his agent was the one who told Guntz that. His agent, David Mulligetta, who had the Deshaun Watson contract for $230 million guaranteed. You go through any position group, I think, in the NFL right now, Mulligetta has the biggest deal with the most guarantee. He's an absolute weapon at the negotiating table, and he is currently sitting across from Guntz and saying, you want Jordan Love, huh? He would love to play. You see how we're using all these clever things? But he would love to not see the field until you pay him what he is worth. Are you worried? Is it all over in Green Bay? Have we already pissed off Jordan Love? Is this another Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre, Green Bay Packer chemistry situation brewing already in Green Bay, Ty Schmidt?
No, I'm not worried at all. I
okay.
think, drama, it's fun. We can do that because, granted, I said a couple things about Caleb Williams last week, who maybe he's not going to play all year. Obviously, he signs his deal almost immediately after that. He is going to play this year. But, no, Jordan Love's there. He's in team meetings. It was at the behest of David Mulligetta and his agency that, hey, don't practice until we get this thing done. If you look at what everyone's saying, it doesn't seem like there's panic. I think, hey, it's a good move. David Mulligetta is a businessman, obviously. They're going to make sure the Packers want to get this done before, Tua gets a deal done, all that kind of stuff. So I would guess that
within the coming days here, Jordan Love might miss a few of the unpadded practices.
Oh, no.
Sure.
That's chemistry.
Sure.
That's where you build chemistry, especially with that young receiving core.
He was there all offseason, though. So, he's already built that chemistry. He's kind of been with those guys. Very similar to Aaron Rodgers, only, Matt LaFleur didn't come out and say, it's unexcusable that he's not here. But that's
isn't a word.
Yeah, that's neither here nor there. So, no, I'm not worried. I think we kind of all knew this was going to happen. And, again, this isn't like a hard and fast deadline, but, deadlines, they spring action. So now the Packers know, hey, okay, he's not gonna be practicing unless we get this done. I think they're kind of already in the process of trying to get it done, and now I think it's just a matter of days and kind of crossing their T's and dotting their I's. I mean, we knew he was going to get a bunch of money. That's what David Mulligata does, all right? He wasn't going to take some deal that was team friendly or, Love's been through a lot. He played unbelievable last year. A lot of people saying, hey, is it worth paying this guy for basically 1 year of production? It is. That's kind of the league we're in. The Packers would be shit out of luck if they didn't have Jordan Love. So, no, I'm not worried. I don't think Packers fans are worried it'll get done within the next few days. But it is, it's a fun little story that we can talk about and act like there's a bunch of drama in Green Bay.
Fun little story. We'll see how little, the I's that need to be dotted and the T's that need to be crossed are, because obviously you get to the goal line. Sometimes, there's some goal line stands that take place to make sure a deal doesn't get done. Mulligata will get it done. Gutekunst will get it done. It'll all be hunky-dory.
I agree.
Now, granted, did they know that he was going to potentially hold out of practice if the deal wasn't done?
I would like to think so. I don't think. I mean, again,
because when did that been a deadline? Because now you start thinking about when a deadline actually is. Okay, so deadline's here, deadline's there, deadline's this place, and I enjoy the fact that yes, I am obviously making a mockery out of this, and people making a big situation out of it, certainly, because the deal is going to get done. We assume, but boy, we blame a lot of people for the drama that happens in Green Bay. Seems like it kind of just gets brought on by you guys yourself. Don't you think that's kind of... We paid Kenny Clark this weekend. Awesome.
Yep.
Congratulations to Kenny Clark.
He's well worth it, yeah.
Absolute dog, absolute beast. You need it to happen. So I'm like, okay, here we go. We're just knocking out deals. Maybe that's what's taking place. Maybe they're just getting it done. But, man, I hope this isn't just like,
Yeah, and I think they have learned from the past. Like, again... It's tough to just read body language and what a guy's saying, because obviously Gutekunst isn't going to go up there and make a huge deal out of this when right now it's really not a massive deal. But I think they understand, like, this is how it is. Like, we have to get this done. We could make this a whole hell of a lot worse if we kind of drag it out and
drama-wise.
Exactly.
And people have been able to get through drama. I mean, Jordan Love has been able to handle drama better than any human maybe I've ever seen.
Right.
So, like, him definitely being worthy of whatever the deal is. Green Bay Packers know they want to pay him. Let's just get it done so we don't have any,
I agree. Let's get it done.
And I'm not a Packers expert, obviously. I've been a fan for a few years because Aaron Rodgers Tuesday took place. That whole thing happened. When Jordan Love got drafted, I completely wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
maybe you get somebody and win a Super Bowl the next year. I don't know who's wrong and who's not wrong. But drafting Jordan Love, I thought was a waste. Trading in to go draft Jordan Love seems like a waste, especially if we get to the NFC Championship. Gutekunst had to sit in the pocket as well.
For sure.
So, because there was doofuses like us very loudly saying, like, this guy's so dumb. And here he sits in, like, a beautiful spot. But it's like, come on.
Let's get it done.
Let's get it done. There is a tweet saying that LaFleur and Love walked to the practice field today together.
There we go.
He said, Wes Hod, Jordan Love not practicing, but was all smiles walking out with Coach Matt LaFleur. Welcome to Packers camp. Practice number 1. Your starting quarterback's not playing. Okay, so that's how you could spin it if you wanted to.
Right.
But in the other way, all fun. They're going to get it done. Just haven't been able to do it yet. They've had other shit they've had to take care of, D-Butt.
Like you said, we all think they're going to get it done probably by tomorrow, but it's just not how you want to be opening up training camp. You know what I mean? In the grand scheme of things, it will be a little thing, I think. But, just even that visual of them walking out to practice, like, who's the backup? Sean Clifford?
Yeah, he was a great player, obviously.
So he'll be breaking.
Big red dog.
Breaking the huddle and playing with offense. Yep. But they'll get it done. Like you said, he earned it. Where does that number lie? Is it going to be in that $55 million range? Will it be a little less? We'll see. Their books being put out. Obviously, the only team you're going to see their books. Did that make Mulligata maybe come back to the table?
Hold on, man. They have 430-some million, these people. And they got all this real estate as well. Let's make sure we understand that this team has the fees and the funds, and they have to with the NFL, CBA. They'll get it done.
Yeah.
Yes.
But we all agree it'll get done. But I think we're all like, hey, why don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, just do it.
Yeah,
like
that's
they've
what
been through this. Like, how many millions is it offer away from? Just give the guy his money. Like, especially after last year, like he could have done this whole entire thing where he didn't do that extension because he did a 2-year extension last year, so he wasn't like screwing over the team with a 5th-year option decision. He did the 2-year deal so that he would be there for 2 years. Like, if it's $5 million, like what are we talking about here? If that's the difference,
well, guarantees, and I assume not franchise, but all of this stuff. Trade, like, there's so many little things in there.
Just give him what he wants.
That's why whenever people say you're close, it's like, have you ever been in a negotiation? There is close is pretty relative in terms, just depending upon what somebody's real, like, there might be something very important to Jordan Love.
For sure.
And that one thing that might be very important to Mulligetta and Jordan Love might be also a sticking point on the other side. So no deal is ever close, in my eyes, until it's done. As somebody who's been close to some deals and then and then it ended up not working because of some big deal. But Mulligetta, a good business person. Kuntz has proven to be good at his job.
Yes.
Despite any criticism ever, he has been good at his job. They'll get it done. But to your point, it's like, this is not how. First day, this is what we're talking about. I don't like that this is how we have to talk about it, especially I'm going there tonight for Monday Night Raw. Ladies and gentlemen, this setup was supposed to start last week. But this man had an obligation with his family, so we weren't able to do it. A guy who is not only one of the most prolific sports gamblers on the internet and the world, but also a guy who is quick with the stats. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us from his potential new home, from the Hammer, Dahn. Ladies and gentlemen, Tone Diggs.
Yeah, Cody!
Tone, how you doing? Welcome back. You're glowing. How was the trip? How was the vacation? 3 weeks is a long time. That's a long time.
3 weeks is a long time. A week on the beach in Hilton Head was awesome. My daughter went to the beach for the first time. That was an unforgettable experience. But it's always great to be back with the boys, Pat.
Well, we appreciate you, and obviously we have no idea how we're sorting it for this particular NFL season because we're going to have a lot of guests, a lot of special things, trying to maximize the space that we built. We appreciate you, Tone. Can't wait to send back to him. He's got something about the Chiefs.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been cooking over there in the lab, in the studio. Speaking of cooking, this man's always in the kitchen. A dude who lives on 3 different phones because he has connections all around the NFL. Senior NFL insider for ESPN, Michigan man, ladies and gentlemen, Adam Schefter.
Whoa. What is going on, guys? How you doing?
You tell me what is going on. This is casual Shefty. Okay, we like this. We like casual Shefty, sitting in the back seat, getting driven around some trees and woods. Where are we? What the hell is going on? You look awesome. If this is the new Schefter, we are big fans of this.
Well, let me tell you exactly what happened here. I was in Michigan taking care of some business for my daughter, my young daughter, and we were attempting to fly back last night when there was a complete meltdown. I know that there's a president that is withdrawn from the race, but it is going on across the country right now where basically airlines are being shut down and people are being... I've never seen a scene like I saw at Detroit Metro. Crazy. We were in line for our flight.
Oh, no, they're shut down.
6 hours before they canceled the flight at 1 a.m. It looked like a nightclub. Everybody out trying to get an Uber or a Lyft or a cab or whatever it is. Got back to the hotel 2:30 in the morning, booked for another flight today that was canceled. So I hired a cab to drive us back to New York. We are right now in Pennsylvania. We are
4 hours
out.
Hey, way to figure it out. Way to figure it out, Shefty.
Wait, my wife is type 1 diabetic, so she had insulin for 1 day.
Oh, no.
So I had to get her back. And these airlines, zero honesty, zero transparency. And what's going on is a travesty across. I'm just telling you. And I've spoken to other people at other airports. It's a disaster right now.
Okay, well, first of all, we are sorry that you and your family are going through that. That's crazy to think about the actual real-life implications with the insulin and diabetes and public transportation, especially what commercial airlines are, is potentially affecting somebody's life. So the fact that you, decided to figure it out. We'll drive this entire thing. I love that out of you, Shefty.
Hell yeah.
I love that out of you,
What a
Shefty.
battle.
And obviously, you're going to be coming and going with service as you drive through Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, big state. I think you're about to realize. Pennsylvania is a big state.
We're in it right now. right now.
You're in it for a bear. You're going to be there for a long time.
Look
That
out.
state is very, very long, especially to get from the west to the east. But we want to let you know we appreciate you. We hope you get back safe. And I think to your point, you said 6 hours worth of people there in Detroit are waiting. That's like every airport. So you start doing the math, how many millions of people. I mean, it's wild. It's all from Friday.
Yeah, Wendy was stuck in Dallas.
There's one airline that's not able to handle this right now. And there were lines that I've never seen at the customer service counter, and their own employees were telling me, drive, do not wait. It's going to be days before this gets right. Days.
What airline?
And so there are people stranded at the airport. I've never seen anything like this in my life. It was inhumane.
God, think about this. This is America, too. Figure it out. Hey, smart people, if there are any, because I've been watching a lot of the smart people. Smart people, figure it out, okay? Figure it out. All right, Shefty. Well, we appreciate you battling through this. You'll have a story. Obviously, you'll look back on this year from now and be like, you remember when? And then something's going to happen in that state of Pennsylvania where you and your family are going to figure out how big that state is. You're going to get so bored. But that stick-to-itiveness is obviously good for the entire Schefter squad. Let's move along here and talk a little football. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Lamar Jackson.
So pissed.
All right, thank you, Schefter. Thank you, Schefter. Lamar Jackson. There's a clip going around about Harbaugh sticking up for Lamar for like 2 minutes and 43 seconds. In there, he says he's going to become the greatest of all time. You look back at the middle school, high school, college, where he is, you only get better. And they're talking about criticism. I don't think I understood what he was talking about there with the criticism. Is it because of the illness, or why did Harbaugh feel like he had to defend Lamar? And what is this illness that is coming that Lamar is dealing with, and how long is he expected to potentially be missing anything?
Well, I would say this. I think that the Ravens were criticized because they fell short. And you hear a lot of talk about Lamar, that they're sensitive to not winning in the playoffs, not getting in the Super Bowl. And I don't think it's prevalent, but it's out there. It comes up every now and then during the course of the offseason. So, look, John Harbaugh, that's his guy. So, of course, he's going to defend them. So, obviously, he must have heard something at 1 or 2 points during the offseason that he didn't like about his guy. And so he wanted to go in and let people know that he's fully behind Lamar. He's fully behind the guy that won the MVP award last year, expects more great things out of him. Again, yesterday he left with an illness. I don't know what it was, maybe a stomach bug. Lamar's had periodic things like that that happen throughout the course of his career. But John Harbaugh is always going to have his back. And that, I think, was the message there yesterday, that nobody's going to say anything about my guy when I don't believe it's warranted, and he's got to stick up for him, and that's exactly what he did.
Okay, I love it. We love Lamar. Can't wait to see Derrick Henry and Patrick Ricard behind him. I don't know what that's so much meat. That is so much. And then Andrews and Likely can just squeak out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Anytime Zay can get quick. But if you put that meat back there, the box has to be loaded. And then everybody who's obviously, you got an MVP there, you got a previous MVP back there, and you got another 280-pounder right there. So everybody's going to pay attention. And then what? You just got Mark Andrews, one of the greatest tight ends, just squeaking out and just, I mean, that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Dink and dump.
I mean, that is, and then, you talk about hey, Baltimore, we're excited. Yeah. We are excited for the Ravens this year.
And the second year in Todd Monken's offense. So you would think that Lamar would be even more comfortable this year than he was last year.
Yeah,
he was learning it.
Yeah, and Monken more comfortable, like a whole offseason of him being like, okay, I can do shit with Lamar that nobody else on earth can do. What else can we do? We're excited for the Ravens. I love how Harbaugh has always done that. Always. Even whenever they were in their contract negotiations, Harbaugh came out and 100% chance Lamar Jackson's our quarterback next year. Yep. Whenever there was a little bit of doubt potentially. And you're going to come and go through service. Don't worry. We'll let you know if we can't hear you. You look fantastic. You look so cool in that hoodie. Speaking of cool, is it cool between Jordan Love and the Packers? Obviously he's not practicing until he gets a deal done. What are you hearing about this? Oh, we lost him. I think we lost him.
Yeah, unstable. I mean, we knew that.
Pennsylvania. So
it is a massive state.
Yeah, huge.
Massive. Pittsburgh to Philly is like 6 hours driving.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And then you think about north too. You go up. You can go up. You can go way up too. Like Erie up here, top left. A lot of people know from the situation.
Sure.
Which one?
Great city, though. Great city. There was a pizza situation where they actually put a bomb.
Bomb collar.
That was in Erie, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I play a lot of soccer tournaments in Erie. Family First Sports Complex. Beautiful place. Good people up there. But that certain bomb thing. And then you go all the way down to like Philly over there and like Delco County. And everything. Sure. It is so. Pennsylvania is gigantic. Huge.
Vast.
I think that is why. I think people forget that. But when you're driving in the middle there, there's a lot of like
nothing.
That kind of farmland.
Good people.
Well, obviously.
The Pennsylvania Dutch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, there's Amish. He's going to be driving past Amish people.
Yep.
Like they'll be right next. Schefter's family. Whoa,
Yeah.
the people actually. Yeah, that's.
I wonder if they know Schefter, like the Amish people, even they know.
Yeah, because they follow the NFL.
Yeah, there's that insider guy.
Joining us back, ladies and gentlemen, from the road in Pennsylvania, Adam Schefter. Schefter, you seen any Amish people yet? Have you seen any Amish people yet?
I haven't seen too much of anything. I've been on the phone. I've been texting. I've been trying to get some sleep here. It's been quite a journey here. Like a couple of 48 hours here, just brutal.
All right.
You had asked me about Jordan Love though.
Yes.
And basically, they told the Packers on Saturday this was the deal. But when you have a guy there, and the GM Brian Gutekunst is on board with that and saying that they're optimistic about getting the deal done, and they understand why he's not practicing, like that's a sign that they're trying to get this worked out. I think both sides think they can get it worked out. It's not done. It could go either way still, but I think by the end of the week, my guess would be that Jordan Love will have a new contract that probably makes him one of the, if not the highest paid quarterback in NFL history. He'll be right there. But they're trying to get that done. It's not done yet. And so the prudent thing is to hold him out because he's not missing much early on the first few days. Until they get the pads on.
That's right.
And then he'll be there. He was there during the offseason, took part in all the drills then, but they're close enough on this deal now that it doesn't make sense for him to be a part of practice. So, again, they're going to try to get that done. My guess is they do get it done. We'll see if they can figure out a way to get it done by the end of the week.
So you think the fact that he's at practice but not participating is an indicator like, yeah, they're very close, don't want to ruin this or jeopardize how much work they've done on getting this deal done with an ankle roll or a potential something in practice that could slow it down?
Well, exactly. That's exactly. You don't want to take any unnecessary risk right now while you're waiting to see if you can get it worked out and figured out. Now, it's not assured of getting done, but I think it's absolutely trending the right way. Both sides feel good about it, but there's still work to be done, and it's not done. And I've heard both sides say, look, it could go either way still here. So we'll see how that works out, but I would guess it gets done.
Either way.
Well, he has to say it. He has to say it. He has to say it.
A lot better about this 5 minutes ago.
D-R-A-M-A, Green Bay. Oh, you guys got real shit going on up there?
Not at all. Not at all.
No, it'll get sorted. It'll get sorted.
Shefty thinks it will. He's just covering his ass. It could go either way.
Yeah, you're right. That is smart to do that, especially with what he's been through.
I think the deal will get done.
Boom.
I do think the deal will get done eventually. I do. But it's not done right now.
Okay, so whenever they say largest, ever, that can be taken in so many different ways. Are we talking about average per year? Are we talking about guarantee, which would be tough because of what Deshaun Watson, who also has the same agent, Mulligeta, who got $230 million guaranteed. If it's the average per year, I think it's like 55 right now, million a year is the number one. So like 55.5 would be what they would be looking for there in that particular world. Or what type of biggest ever are you hearing, or is that still yet to be determined?
Well, again, the average per year, Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence, both at 55. So I think the Packers before could have said, hey, Joe Burrow's former number one pick. He's gotten his team to the Super Bowl. We don't know that Jordan's there quite yet. We believe in him. We think he can be that, but he's not that yet. But then when Trevor Lawrence goes and gets 55, now that argument that Green Bay was making loses a little bit of its luster.
Little.
What was that? Well, how about Mulligeta going, just sending that article over from you, probably that tweet over from you, just soft delivery here, just a soft delivery into your inbox or into your text message. They look at it and go, what was that? That's all Mulligeta sends back in that entire thing. I mean, that's crazy how much other teams' decisions affect what you're going to have to do, but it's only going to keep climbing. And I think everybody, even the Packers fans, are like, yeah, give them the most. That's the way it works, right?
But that always happens. Look at every position. Look at why the Eagles went out and signed Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown ahead of Justin Jefferson while the Cowboys waited on C.D. Lamb, right? Every team knows that's part of the marketplace. You say other teams' decisions, and that's true. They do impact every team's decisions. But other teams, they all know what's coming down the pike. Like, we knew this offseason that a Trevor Lawrence deal could get done. We knew these wide receiver deals were going to get done. And so the most effective teams get out in front of it and get it done. They don't wait for it. They get aggressive.
Well, There's a lot going on in San Francisco right now. There's a lot going on in a lot of places. It feels like as this money continues to grow at certain positions, it's only going to continue to happen as the NFL business remains. But there's also a little problem happening down in Miami. Go ahead, Darius.
Yeah, a lot going on in Miami as well. And as a fellow Dolphin fan here, got another one in the building as well. Tua. We're hearing there's a big gap between what he wants, what the Dolphins are willing to give him. As a Dolphin fan, you kind of look at Tua, okay, is he going to be able to beat a Patrick, a Josh, a Lamar in the big moments? Is that kind of where the Dolphins are? And what's the hold up there getting that deal done coming into training camp?
Well, I don't think they're as far along right now as the Packers and Jordan Love, obviously. And I think both sides still would like to get it done. The Dolphins have been very open about the fact that Tua is their guy into the future. But the question is, what is the number? And Pat, you were talking about all the different numbers, right? What is the guarantee on Tua? What are you guaranteeing Tua, who's had an injury history? He just has had that. So I think that has to factor in and make that deal a little bit more complicated and layered and nuanced than some of these other deals. But he's going to be paid up there if they can get it worked out. There's no doubt he's deserving. They've established that he's their guy of the future. But I think that when you have some of the injuries there, I think some of the questions about the guaranteed money become interesting.
Let's go to another injury that we're all watching, especially here in this beautiful city. Go ahead,
Schefty, we heard from Anthony Richardson in a very awkward scene in a locker room with a bunch of kids watching.
He gave an entire high school here in Indianapolis brand new helmets. Shout to AR.
It was awesome.
Shout to AR. That is our quarterback.
Yep. And they didn't. None of them had him on. And in this clip, he kind of mentioned how, my shoulder. You'll see next week. You'll see next week. What is his status? Is he going to be, full go as the Colts start training camp?
That's their expectation, that he'll be full go. Now, I think they'll still be smart about it. There's no need to overdo it with him. But yes, he's going to be out there. He's going to be going through drills. They obviously have huge expectations for him this upcoming season. He's got to stay healthy, though. Like, look at his injury history, too. We're just talking about Tua.
Yeah.
He's so big and he plays so physical. It's really, really important that guy takes care of himself and avoids that extra hit, if that's possible, and stays healthy. Because if he does, he can be a great quarterback.
Concur, we all agree on that. And there were some hits he took that were just like unlucky, seemingly, too. Takes one here, gets like a bruised thing, and then scoring a touchdown, takes one, he whips his head back. It was like, there was just a lot of misfortune, seemingly, with some of the hits. And then some of the things, it's like, yeah, he's a big guy, he's going to run, but he has to. That's like a part of his weaponry.
It's his game.
Like, the reason why he was drafted 4 overall is because of what he can do athletically. And also, that's the sickest spike in the game. So we need him to be running the ball into the end zone so that we can see that particular spike on a more regular occasion.
You can still run, but you also can run smartly and effectively. Right, and you could avoid some extra collisions, and you could get down before certain hits. So you can do certain things that I think he will learn over time. He's not going to play the way he did this year, I don't think, the way he did last year, and every year I would think he would get smarter and smarter about it.
We all concur, but there's some guys like Josh Allen who will still lower his shoulder and hit somebody. Herbert will still lower his shoulder. Burrow there for a while. He finally came around and was like, I'm about sick of getting hit by these guys. So he's like, hopefully change. Some of those dudes, it's hard to change. Andrew Luck, he thought he was disrespecting football if he gave up on a play early. Like the entire sport, not just his team, the entire sport of football, if he gave up early or something like that. So some people can. And you mentioned Lamar Jackson. It's like he has that incredible ability to get down. A lot of T.Y. Hilton was a guy who had an incredible ability to gather yards but be able to get down. It's like Anthony Richardson's going to have to find his kind of comfort level with that. But boy, 250, the way he can move, I don't mind him setting the tone first quarter to somebody and running him over. But then if he's gone, we're all pissed. We're all pissed forever. Okay, let's get to another situation out there in San Francisco. Obviously, we know. In that car, in Pennsylvania, in Michigan, in New York, no matter where Adam Schefter is, Schefter's got an ear to the ground in San Francisco 49er territory. Okay, we know that. That's why last week it was hilarious whenever Aiyuk has officially requested a trade. And then we start talking about, this is real now. And then you put out a tweet. The Niners, just a reminder, they have no intentions of trading this. Mike Florio, who we know, obviously has been around the NFL a long time. He comes on program. He talks about, nobody's really talking about it right now, but it was a convo. There's a chance maybe Debo is the one who ends up kind of not being there in a traded situation. Now, obviously, Florio is a guy that, tea leaves and hypothesize. That's his career. That's Pro Football Talk. For you, as somebody, how do you think this gets handled? How do you think it gets managed? And what do we think the starting day roster looks like for the San Francisco 49ers right now at the wide receiver position?
Well, here's what I think. There's a lot that's going to unfold, but the 49ers had an issue once with a kicker, Robbie Gould, who wanted a new deal, wanted to be traded, and they wound up signing him to a long-term deal. Same thing with Debo. He came out, I want to be traded. It was a huge deal. Are they going to trade Debo? Well, what happened? End of the summer, long-term deal. Now, they want to get a long-term deal done with aiyuk. And if you're the 49ers, why would you trade Brandon Aiyuk or Debo Samuel, either one, for draft pick compensation in 2025 when you're trying to win a Super Bowl now? It makes no sense. Not only that, you can trade Debo after the year if you want, and you'd have the services this year. Aiyuk, you could franchise tag him after this year if you wanted, and they still want to work out a long-term deal. Now, again, I think that my guess would be that Aiyuk, I'm guessing here, doesn't show up to training camp. Not there, right? And tries to force the issue here. And then we see if the two sides can work out a deal or whether he wants to continue to be difficult with them. The interesting part here is John Lynch and Brandon Aiyuk have the same agent too. So that's a little bit of an interesting dynamic here going on, right? Like John Lynch, the GM of the team, and Brandon Aiyuk's agent is the same one.
John Lynch going to his
right?
agent, what the fuck are we doing?
Can we please?
And then his agent going, this is your soft spot. I mean, sorry about it, Debo. We just said the whole thing.
It's on you.
This is how it works.
So
you set the precedent.
Look, I think they want to find a way. They want to find a way to keep all these guys for this season, and then we'll see what happens after the year. But obviously, it's not going to be simple, and they know there are issues and obstacles in front of them that they're going to have to try to figure out a way to get done here. I don't know how it's going to work out yet.
So, because you can do the Saquon Barkley thing whenever his franchise wasn't happy, give him a couple more million, like kind of renegotiate a one-year deal here for Aiyuk, give him a couple million more, not where he wants to be, but certainly more than what he has right now. So it's like we reach out, we extend an olive branch here, and then you can maybe bust off the franchise tag off that one-year deal so you don't have that in the future. So there is a way, I guess, to get a deal done without having to go to the $27 million or whatever the entire thing is. But Aiyuk would have, exactly. You know it. Yeah. Aiyuk would have to buy in
John Lynch.
to that. Aiyuk would have to be agree to that. And same agent. That's an interesting.
That's hilarious.
That's an interesting little dynamic to add in to the entire story. Hopefully it gets worked out. Last question for you, Schefter, here. We appreciate the hell out of your time. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, Shefty, obviously very early, but the clips we've seen coming out of Chiefs training camp, they haven't missed a beat. They look unbelievable. Is the idea around Kansas City, you think that this could be the best Chiefs team of the Mahomes era, and it's kind of more in line with when they had Tyreek Hill with all these new weapons that they've brought in?
I'm not ready to say they're the best team in the Chiefs era, but they have Patrick Mahomes and they've got Andy Reid. What's interesting to me about that team is they lost some people from their front office this year, operational people that behind the scenes I think are important and significant. Now, you still have the best quarterback in football. You still have a Hall of Fame coach who's one of the best coaches who's ever been in the game. And those two guys can make up for a lot of absences. But there are questions about who's playing left tackle. There's questions about who's playing wide receiver. There's some defensive questions. So I don't know that I'm ready to say that this is the best Chiefs team when the previous two won Super Bowls already. But when they have that quarterback and that coach, they're always going to be dangerous. They're always going to be really good. And they're going to have a chance to make their own mark on history this upcoming season.
Yeah, we're big fans. And when you have that tight end, obviously, you got an opportunity in any third down, red zone, whatever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hey, you're the man. We appreciate you. Safe travels. Tell Pennsylvania we said hello.
I will sing your best. Thank you for having me. Welcome back. Football's back. Everybody's in camp by Wednesday.
Hell yeah, Shefty. I like that. That's a good optimism. Make sure you look around, experience life a little bit there out in America. You know what I mean? Experience it a little bit. Yeah, you suits need to breathe a little bit. See an Amish person.
Fresh air.
Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Schefter.
Yeah, Shefty.
I haven't looked around one time.
Yeah,
he's done.
He's so pissed.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all been
inhumane.
There. Yeah.
He said.
Need to know the airline.
That is the worst when they just keep stringing you along. Oh, delayed for another 45 minutes. Oh, another hour. Gate change, and then 7 hours later, your shit canceled.
Yeah,
So
you could have told me earlier.
Yeah.
Detroit Delta, right? And that.
Yeah, it's Delta.
Delta hub.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's just Delta. I think it's pretty much all of them.
All of them, yeah. I saw
Except
them
for
release.
Southwest, I think, because I saw a bunch of memes saying Southwest hadn't updated their shit enough, so they weren't a part of
They
it.
were good. That's awesome.
Classic Southwest football.
Yep.
Smart.
I guess it actually.
That's why they did it. That's kind of their whole thing.
They knew.
Yeah.
They knew. And I wondered how come ours was A-okay. I guess it's because we actually, you see.
Yeah,
Above.
above and beyond.
How come that's always the thing, and then we're always considered the dumb ones?
I don't know.
You know.
Go back through COVID. All this little Bitcoin,
Yeah.
NFTs, all that shit.
I mean, our ticker worked.
PPP fund, all of it, everything. You name it, literally everything. Checkbox, all of them. Where are you suits at talking about that, puppets? Go back through it all. It is a wild time that we're in, but the Chiefs seemingly are going to run the NFL and continue to run the NFL, and that's a beautiful thing. Let me tell you why.
What?
Some people hate it. Well, you were the Patriots, so you understand this. Some people hate whenever there's like greatness right in front of your face. Some people hate it. You know, sometimes it takes time to look back upon something and give it its props. You know, normally this happens when people pass away, they give flowers to people, and they're like, you know, people say you need to give flowers now, you need to give flowers now. We need to give flowers now to this Chiefs team. Because the way Patrick Mahomes operates while being who he is, insane. The way Travis Kelce operates while being who he is, absolutely insane. Both of them have remained the exact same human beings. They look the exact same. Patrick Mahomes, there's a photo from him last training camp showing up, this training camp showing up, I assume next training camp showing up, and one after looks the exact same. Travis Kelce, same exact dude throughout all of this, through the growth. Andy Reid has not changed at all. None of these people have changed. They're almost like built and ready for the moment. So whenever I see them continuing to be awesome, I love it. There's going to come a day where, you know, we're going to have to celebrate what was in Kansas City.
Of course.
And everybody will have to recognize how great it was. Just like we're doing with the Patriots and have been doing with the Patriots since everybody has kind of moved on. But like right in front of our face, we have a team that is just a spectacle. And they have the dogs on their roster that close games they're going to win. They have the talent on their team. And they have a bunch of dudes that I think we would be fans of if they weren't just the greatest at what they were doing in real life. So congrats to the Chiefs. Joining us now, live from the Hammer, Dahn. Tone Diggs has some on the Chiefs, maybe being the first team to ever go 3 in a row. Take it away, Tone.
Thank you. The Hammer downtown does have a good ring to it. And first and foremost, T's and P's to Schefter, because once you get 40 minutes east of Pittsburgh, the rest of PA just absolutely stinks. Like, it is just the absolute worst. And we're not talking about a small middle part. It's a big middle part of that state that just absolutely
lot of meat, Tone. Lot of meat.
Absolutely stinks.
Yeah.
And you're talking about people that hate greatness and the Chiefs. I am one of those people. I hate the Chiefs. I hate greatness. I hate the Chiefs. I will say it here and there. We're screwed, though. We're absolutely screwed, though. They are going back to back to back. Okay, there's been 9 teams that have gone back to back. Of those 9 teams, 0 of those teams have gone back to the Super Bowl. 3 have gone to an NFC or AFC championship. The Cowboys, Niners, and Steelers, but they all lost in their championship game. The Chiefs, though, like, last year was the year. Like, last year was the year that anyone could have got them, and nobody did. They were 16th in offense last year. They scored 21.8 points per game. They only scored over 33 times. The year before that, in 2022, they scored over 39 times. They were the number 1 offense in the NFL, and they averaged 29.2 points per game.
Damn.
Last year was the year to get it. Like, all their twos this year at the wide receiver position, Sky Moore, Justin Watson, Kadarius Toney, they're number 2s this year, okay? They're going to be their second wide receivers coming off the bench. Now that they have Hollywood Brown, Xavier Worthy, Rashee Rice, who was a rookie coming into last year, so he wasn't number 1 on the depth chart. Plus, you mentioned Travis Kelce. Plus, Pacheco's another year in that offense. Andy Reid's still there. Patrick Mahomes is still there. Like, the offense is not going to be 15th or 6th. The Colts and Saints, okay? Those 2 teams, no disrespect to those 2 teams. Neither of them made
Sounds like you're about to be very disrespectful.
Neither of those 2 teams made the playoffs last year. They scored more points than the Kansas City Chiefs did last year. That would be the Colts and the Saints, okay? And that was Gardner Minshew and sometimes Derek Carr and some other shit around there in New Orleans.
Okay.
Whatever was going on.
Tony.
They are not going to be the 15th or 16th scoring offense this year, I do not believe. I believe they're going to get back probably into the top 5. Oh, and then off the defense, which was number 2 last year in points per game and yards, they have 8 of their 11 top tacklers back. And let me check here. Yep, 10 out of 10 of their top sack getters last year are all back on the Chiefs defense. Now, did they lose one of the best corners in the NFL, yes, they did, but a lot of people think that they have the pieces to replace that when Snead went to Tennessee. But listen, Spagnuolo's going to figure it out. The defense. So when you go with the number 2 defense, and if the offense gets back to what they potentially could be and probably will be, spells trouble, okay? Because the Chiefs also, they play the aforementioned Saints. They play the NFC South, which not the best division in the world, okay? That stinks. And then they play the Raiders and the Broncos twice, who knows who that's going to be. That's going to be 8 wins there. Their total's 11.5. They get the Bengals, the Ravens, the Texans. They get all those guys in Arrowhead at home, so that'd be potentially 11 there. Their over-unders at 11.5. What I'm saying is I'm worried
that they got better.
I'm worried that they got better, okay? And then if they have home field, we know the Dolphins aren't going in there and winning a playoff game, and a lot of the other Texans ain't going in Arrowhead and winning a game in the Colts. Hey, listen, there's the Stroud House, there's the Lod House. They ain't going outside and winning in KC. What I'm saying is I've got some worry that the Super Bowl favorite plus 550, plus 600 Kansas City Chiefs could potentially do it again and be the first team to three-peat.
Hey, thank you, Tone. Yeah. That was well put together.
Tony.
I mean, real gloom and doom for the rest of us, though.
Yeah.
Let me start going. 10, let me see. Let me check my stats here. He took stats. Actually wrote it down. It was fun to watch. 10 out of the top 10 sack getters for them. So, a corner, kind of blitz, picked up maybe 1.5 sacks last year. Yeah, he's back. Everybody that has got to the quarterback in Spagnuolo's defense is back in there. 8 out of 11, obviously going to have to turn some over. But what that Chiefs team, and obviously it's not fun to talk about them, because they've gone back-to-back.
Yeah.
And we want to find somebody that is going to go. But we talk about, like, the Niners and all the drama they have. We talk about the Ravens, and we love everything about it. They're half a yard away from beating this Chiefs team, and maybe it's a whole different conversation in Tone, who's like, yeah, their offense was 16th. That's why they weren't able to get it done. But they still were able to get it done. What a time to be alive if you're a Chiefs fan, legitimately.
Yeah, I mean, the Ravens, I think right now, going into it on paper, at least, they got the best shot. We talked about all the things that the Ravens have done this offseason. Lamar been in the second year, that offense, having more weapons around them, still having those pieces on defense. But and I'm a fan of dominance. I like seeing great dominance, whether it's racing or basketball with the Warriors or football with the Patriots, whoever it was.
Racing is an interesting way to describe what you watch with cars.
Come on, D-Bud.
Because racing would be implying that the people are actually racing each other to win.
Right.
To win the race.
Finish first.
That is why they're racing.
Mm-hmm.
But it turns out that's not how F1 works, which is the first time we've really understood that and learned that.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, it makes sense. It makes a lot more sense now that nobody over there is trying to win.
No.
That's why they just kind of follow in line.
Exactly.
I think it was it Memphis or was it Nashville? I forget what it was. They have this penguin hotel where these penguins or these ducks, I forget what it is, they all come out at a certain time. I think it's called the Peabody Hotel, yeah. They have these ducks that come out, and they just walk right behind each other, right down the street. They turn corner into Peabody, they go single file, and they just go, and they go in the fountain. It's a big celebration in the fountain. Holy shit, we made it. That is what F1 racing is.
No.
They all kind of get in there.
No.
They walk around, whatever course it is. They get to the checkered flag. That's the fountain. They go in there. They all pat each other in the back. They go grab some Rolexes. They all pop some champagne. We made it all the way around. Yeah. You see that? Mm-hmm. We did it every single time. It makes so much sense that they're not trying to win the races. Mm-hmm. That's what they should have been telling us the entire time. Hey, this is a display. This is a showcase of cars. This is not people trying to actually win races. This is just so you could see, and then we can make a cute little reality show. This is a gimmick. It makes sense. It's gimmick one, which is why we call it G1.
It's not gimmick. It's team sports. But we'll get to that team sport. But when you are dominating, you got to find different ways to win. All those things Tone laid out. Offense wasn't great, but we watched their defense dominate from wire to wire. Spags, obviously, multiple-time Super Bowl champ at the defensive side now. Bring Chris Jones back. You lose Snead, but you still have Trent McDuffie, who can match up, who can blitz, who can tackle. You still got Justin Reed, who was phenomenal last season. So, yeah, I'm worried about this Chiefs team as well.
Okay, so let's pivot away from G1, which is it's a show.
It's a joke.
Yeah, they do
Pinnacle Motorsports. They team.
Pinnacle. That's a good gimmick show name. Yeah. The Pinnacle. I had to say the word stupendous.
Yep.
WrestleMania. We get
Same
it.
thing.
We get it. We get what it is.
Pinnacle.
Yeah, it's the Pinnacle. Yeah, we understand. It makes so much more sense now that they're not trying to win.
It's the worst.
No, not at all.
I get it. Well, what if you own 5 cars, though, and 5 cars are on a team? Then you can technically just block cars. You can kind of just control the...
It's also not a team sport.
10 teams.
Okay.
2 drivers per team.
Okay, all right. G1 took some shots to the shins because they are who we thought they were, which is kind of fugazi.
Yeah.
Fugazi won.
Yeah,
What
exactly.
NASCAR
There
do?
you go.
Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a senior basketball bingo.
Yeah. What'd they do? Huh?
They went to
did they do? I
overtime.
don't know.
Yes, they did.
They went to overtime, extra laps
It's
at
a
the
real
greatest
race.
at the greatest sports
Who
race.
won? You watch? Who won?
Kyle Larson.
Yeah.
Okay.
What a
Yeah.
comeback. What a comeback.
He wanted to win though.
He did.
Kyle Busch wanted to win, so but he crashed out again.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
And then got the 8
And
special.
I think there's only one driver in G1 that wants to win.
He did go airborne. on
His
Sunday.
name's Max Vanderstappen.
Yeah.
And that's why he wins, because he's the only one that wants to
Well,
win.
it turns out they're just letting him win.
Well,
he's
I
not
think
even-
he's the only one that's deciding, no, I am winning.
He's not with the shit.
Yeah, they ask him, hey, you want to? He goes, no, yeah, win? Yeah, that's what I'm a racer.
Yeah.
Everybody else is like, nah, I just want a car next week.
Yeah, this is just fun to be here.
Just a job. This is a good job. I know you guys could take the pit crew and have them sit where I am and just kind of doesn't really take any talent. We just kind of do this entire. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who has a lot of talent. And we've eaten into a lot of his time here because we're obviously a little sidetracked by something that is called a race, but they're not actually racing.
No.
Senior basketball insider at The Athletic, FanDuel TV in the stadium. Ladies and gentlemen, in front of the program, Shams Charania.
Hey.
Shams, first time G1 got brought up, Fugazi won. We apologize for getting off. Let's get back on track here with the incredibly handsome and knower of things. We only beat South Sudan, Central African country, good at hoop.
Gritty.
Gritty squad, good at hoop. Didn't blink. Didn't blink. Have a lot of international professionals, didn't even blink. United States of America's got Germany today. We're about to learn a lot of things. Do we suck? And why do we suck? And are we not going to suck whenever the Olympics start after LeBron James is the flag bearer of the entire Olympics for the United States of America?
Give South Sudan a lot of credit. They brought great energy. I think USA, we saw LeBron James' mindset after the game, having a challenge. There's going to be challenges. This Olympic team, we saw it. We've seen it in 2012 with the Redeem team. We saw it like it's happened in past years. 08, obviously, like there are going to be challenges along the way. There's going to be either a game against Canada, maybe, these are exhibition games. Obviously, we'll see if Kevin Durant plays today. He still has not played in any of the exhibition games. I think there is more doubt that he plays today than not, but he's going to be with the team, and there's still that hope and optimism and belief that he will be ready for the Olympics. We'll see what that role would be. Would they bring him off the bench when he's ready? But I think for USA, there's going to be those challenges, and you want that to happen in exhibition play so that when you get to Olympic play, which starts on Sunday, you're able to have much more success. But to me, if you're USA, LeBron James looks amazing. Steph Curry looks amazing. And then off the bench, you have Anthony Davis, Bam Adebayo. Those two, just their ability to play with each other, play off each other, play essentially 1 through 5 defensively, how versatile they are. And then you have an array of guys, Anthony Edwards, Jason Tatum, Devin Booker coming off your bench. It's too much. Even I was at the exhibition game against Canada a couple weeks ago in Vegas, and Canada was competitive, especially in the first half. But you have the wave upon wave of players that USA, like no one in the world can compete with that. But we'll see. There's Canada, there's France. There's going to be someone else that challenges USA between now and the end of the gold medal game, which obviously USA hopes to win.
Yeah, hopes.
Hope.
What are we talking about?
Exactly.
What are you,
bullshit.
Yeah, okay, Sean.
Whatever superlative you want to use there. They need to, of course.
I just don't need you buying into the bullshit either. We need to. We're 43.5-point favorites over South Sudan. I know they brought good energy.
They did.
I know, and they filled it up. They scored 101 points or whatever.
Which also,
points.
I mean, can we slap the floor,
Yeah,
please?
we're stuck in defense.
Yeah, we got red, white, and blue across this. Are the boys maybe not trying? Is that potentially a thing?
No. They're definitely trying, but the thing is,
that's even worse.
You're seeing you're seeing a mismatch of rotations, and Steve Kerr's been very vocal. Like we need to see which rotations work. We need to see which players match with each other. We need to view how all these guys get along and how they play with each other. And of course, the way Joel Embiid has looked at different points, especially early on in these games, that leaves a lot to be desired. And give credit to Joel Embiid; he's gutting it out, he's playing. But I do think as these games go on, Steve Kerr's going to have to make decisions, right? Like, where do you go, especially to give your minutes out?
Well, Steve Kerr, isn't he a part of picking the new, right? Isn't that like his thing?
Yeah,
Isn't he normally like
Yeah, it might be.
the news that you broke? Isn't he a part of it? Doesn't he?
Huge.
He's pretty big part of that, isn't
Yes.
Big week.
He'll get into the.
It's been a big news week, Pat. You know, very, very, very big news week.
When you typed that up, you felt so cool? Did you feel so cool as you were typing that up?
I mean, the goal is to, educate the world of news matters, right? And
Yeah.
so
Someone pulled an old tweet of Sean's when he broke Bin Laden being captured and killed as well.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate you spreading the news, especially if you get it, Chomps. You're a newsbreaker.
I didn't even have any followers probably when I tweeted whatever that was. Probably had like 4 followers on Twitter, but it's okay.
Just breaking it.
This is at the I think simultaneous or maybe like 10 seconds after. What was that? You're saying before.
Pat, we do have news though. I just got a text of confirmation. So all right. So
he's out for sure.
Well, let's talk about
Joe Biden's
done. He's done. Yeah.
This is NBA. No. This is NBA news. I promise. Especially on this show, we're gonna go NBA. We're gonna go hard.
I do have confirmation.
Yeah. Joe Biden's going to coach Team USA.
There it is.
All right. Sorry. We're running out of time.
Commander and coach.
Sorry.
So
thank you for this.
The Dallas Mavericks, favorites in the Western Conference, obviously get Klay Thompson this offseason. I'm told they're also going to sign Spencer Dinwiddie to a 1-year contract. He's played last season with the Lakers, finished up there. Obviously played more of a 3-and-D, but this is someone that averaged 17 points a game for Dallas in 2 seasons. He was part of that 2022 Western Conference Finals team with the Mavericks, with Luka Doncic. That team had Jalen Brunson, and he can spot start. He can play as a starter at different points. He can come off the bench. He can play a 6-man role. He's someone that can play defense, shoot the ball. This is a big pickup, especially late in the summer for the Mavericks to go get Spencer Dinwiddie. He's already shown he can be ideal next to Luka Doncic. And the Lakers have had interest in all these players. They had interest in bringing Spencer Dinwiddie back. They have a little bit of roster crunch. There are 15 guaranteed roster spots.
It feels like everybody loves
LeBron. The Dallas Mavericks.
Yep, that's awesome. Thank you for the breaking news. No Dinwiddie. Congrats on. Welcome back to Dallas. Welcome back. And we're running. We got a hard out here in like 2 minutes or whatever. So everybody loves LeBron at Team USA. It seems like everybody. Like you see the way they're like at the beginning going into Team USA training camp. The way like Ant was talking, like it's my team, this whole thing. And then Ant was asked, "Hey, why'd you guys beat?" He's like, LeBron James. And then you watch practice, LeBron's running it. Seems like everybody has massive respect for LeBron. How come the Lakers haven't been able to sign him? Because I'm being told by LeBron haters, it's because LeBron James is there. It's just people think that the time is now for Dallas with what Luka and Kyrie have. Like that's kind of the sell in Dallas right now.
Well, when you're looking at both teams, I mean, the Mavericks are clearly, to me, and I think people around the league, they are a little bit further along. They just made it to the NBA Finals. They just got, you have Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving coming off of healthy seasons. And Kyrie Irving actually just had hand surgery last week on a broken hand. I'm told that'll be about 4 weeks of a recovery time. So he's expected to be a full go for the start of training camp. But, yeah, I mean, they're looked at as a team that's on the cusp. That's why Klay Thompson decided he wanted to go play in Dallas. And I think with the Lakers, the tough part about them is they're under a roster crunch right now. They have 15 guaranteed roster spots. So unless you're trading away draft picks to get off of guys lower end of your roster, your rotation, it's going to be hard for them to open up these spots. And so this is really the team they're looking at to go into the season with. And that's what makes it challenging if you want to make moves. And clearly, players are picking other situations. Right?
Los Angeles has a couple picks on 2035.
That's right.
They got to move those things. You guys love doing that in the NBA. Last question here, as we got about 30 seconds. So the WNBA All-Stars are going to the Olympics now? Is that how that works?
They're going to the Olympics. No Caitlin Clark, but they are going to the Olympics. Diana Taurasi's healthy. She will be there.
No. That's not the question.
The WNBA All-Stars, they beat Team USA. They're going to the Olympics now?
Oh, no. There's an Olympic team that's already been set.
Yeah, they lost.
Yeah, that game was for Pink.
I watched them lose.
Part of the they're not going. No. They're not going.
So they went silver?
There are some WNBA All-Stars that are going, though.
Okay. All right. We appreciate you, Sean.
All-Stars.
All right. You're the man. Thank you so much for the time. Thanks for breaking all the news to the world this weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, Sean Sharania.
Sean.
And putting that tweet out, he felt so cool.
Oh, yeah.
It was awesome.
He felt so cool. Breaking. The president is no longer running. That was wild times. Internet is batting 1,000 right now.
Hot bats.
Yeah. All right, we'll be back on the other side. You are the best. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change your life. Take three. And we are in a conference room in a hotel that is the home of the annual league meeting. It is wonderful down here in Florida. Jim Harbaugh was showcasing to me why he doesn't like the hip drop tackle. He was actually wrapping his massive arms around me and then saying, this is what we're trying to get out.
Jim Harbaugh's rules, this is his business card that he gave me.
Jim Harbaugh's rules to live by. You guys are drafting Caleb Williams #1 overall.
We'll see.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Woo! You did it. When RG3 comes out, you heard him. Yeah. Okay.
I think accuracy, is the #1 trait that NFL quarterbacks need to have.
Oh, so Penix.
Ooh, okay.
I think accuracy is the #1
Okay.
trait. Didn't
say no.
Oh! Easy, K. Don't give anything up. Hey, you got a lot of leverage right now.
I'm not sure if you know this or not, but you guys are taking wide receiver in the first round, is what I'm being told, and everyone.
Hey, congratulations for doing that.
Good class for it.
Way to go.
Just the first round?
Whoa.
Got 11 picks.
I thought the most impressive thing about it was a lot of people had the sense that this was going to happen, and not one person uttered it. It was a completely respect-driven thing for Aaron to let him do it the way he needed to and wanted to, because he deserved that.
Obviously, I had nothing to do with the offense, but I made sure I had a conversation with Jameis every day, just for myself. It was like self-motivation.
Are you a bobcat or a deer girl?
Boom.
Okay. That's good news.
I think that was like a deer, guys.
1, 2, 3 all locked, you think?
I don't know that yet.
Who could jump up there? Who could pack it?
Caleb Williams, I agree with it 1.
Okay.
My guess would be Jaden Daniels at 2. And 3, there has been a lot of Drake May conversation. Here's the thing. These things,
Shefty. Sounds like you know more than what you're leading on right now.
Do I think they'll ultimately stay and make the pick at 3? My guess would be yes.
Fucking thank God. Jesus Christ.
If it's going to cause you that much agita, I'm going to definitely see if I can find out some more stuff that will give you more heart palpitations.
Oh, Shefty!
You don't need to be a prick. I just want a quarterback so I can root for football again.
Feels like that's probably the case. Conman's got a question for you. Man.
Yeah, Shefty. Excuse me.
Oh, no.
What? I am so. I'm so sorry.
You know what? That's okay. I don't hold it against you.
Can you kick one of those shoes up here?
It says rap sheet. I'll get your kids on there too. That's pretty sweet.
We went to Venice and they had an artist draw it on it.
In Italy?
Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Caboli.
Oh, no.
Stop laughing, Gump.
Well, it's a tough chair.
It's a good chair.
Ready, 1, 2, 3, jump.
Got an ACL.
Schultz, I'm gonna be honest. I thought we were out of here, but then I see you over there.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
Why?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink.
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Overreaction Monday, July 22nd, 2024. Hour 2 of the program starts now. It is a wonderful day to be here talking sports. We can't thank you enough for joining us and allowing us to do this for a living. The Toxic Table is here at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt, 9-year NFL vet, big-brained human being, ladies and gentlemen. Darius J. Butler is here.
Baby boy.
Live from Hammer, Dahn, Todd. Tone Diggs is here. Tone, how you doing? Okay, yeah, caught him off guard. We're going to have to get used to it.
Bruce was in here dropping me off something. So.
Yeah, of course, that's good news. I'm happy to hear that's the case. Bruce had a great week last week. So much so they actually put him on the fucking news.
They did.
Yeah, pretty
How
incredible.
good he did. He talked college football. He had good angle at that, good lighting. Had a couple of these types of moments.
Talking about the dynasty mode and the
messed his name up. That was weird.
Yeah, Matt. I don't know who that is. Joining us live from an attic in Ohio. Hey, way to go, Bruce.
That baby Bruce.
Hey, Bruce. Matt.
Way to go, Bruce.
Bruce.
Is he back there? Is he still Dahn?
Thanks, guys.
You're doing great. Just run through the stage maybe next time. Whenever the show's starting, just, you know what I mean? Just like sprint right through here. Maybe you can go over there.
I really thought I was going to pull it off. To be honest.
How was the news? You did great on there. Thanks for representing.
It was something, for sure.
I loved it. I don't know what you mean.
Great.
It was something.
I thought you did great. Legitimately.
I appreciate it.
He was on the air for 2 days, and it said, representing the Pat McAfee Show.
Yep.
Matt Brown. And obviously, he is a coastal elitist.
Yep.
A suit, so he has all the plug over there. They were waiting for a time to see him on camera. Like, all right, we can link this guy.
Let's get him.
Let's get him on there.
Finally.
And I will say this, Bruce, you crushed it. On here and on the show. You should be incredibly proud of yourself. Brucey does the news.
Yeah.
Oh, Brucey Newsy.
Yep.
It's a really cute thing. You're absolutely crushing it. Joining us now, live from Manatee, Ohio. Ladies and gentlemen, a man who is a father of 10, a college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion, the all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers. Don't look now. Is there a quarterback controversy already brewing there?
No.
AJ Hawk. Could go either way.
What could go either way?
I'm just telling you what Schefter told me from a car in Pennsylvania. While wearing
Well, first off, have you checked on Shefty? I mean, that guy is pretty frustrated. I understand his frustration. I really do. But, man, he's in one right now.
Think about his family that's with him. You know, his wife obviously never – he goes into that office. Remember, they kind of lock him in that office?
Yep.
And you watch, there was like an HBO that did a special on him where we got to see him go in and out of that office is like a soundproof.
Yeah.
It is
Don't
like
think.
away from everything. He goes in there, he journals every night, everything that he's done and does all his hits from there. And then he opens it back up and his family's like, oh, we forgot you lived here. And then, you know, they're now in it. His daughter is in the back. I don't know if you saw her. She was on her hand, like laying down, I think. Saw her hand move at one point. She has to listen to her dad.
Oh, God.
Not allowed to talk.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
Not allowed to can't talk.
Sick of this Jordan Love contract news, Dad. You just shut up.
He's calling local ESPN radio stations all day from that car. His wife only has 1 day left of insulin, who is, you know, in actual medical emergency potentially happening, but can't get home because of the airlines and everything that started on Friday has been a ripple effect here throughout forever. It sounds like they're never going to be able to catch up to this entire thing.
Crazy.
And then he's just doing these hits from his computer. That has to be a terrible situation, AJ. Just an absolutely terrible. We're happy they're doing it, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Happy they're doing it. A lot of people doing it. You know, a lot of people have obviously much harder lives. But you're right. I did not expect that from Shefty. Schefter.
No, and as you kind of laid it out, I don't know if anyone, it's an old school movie, but Con Air, Shefty is playing the Nicolas Cage character in Con Air where he's fine. He's trying to get insulin for his buddy who's dying because he's out of it.
It's a bit of a stretch.
Whatever his buddy's name is.
Identical, Todd.
But now Shefty needs to get it for his wife. So he's doing whatever it takes. He's crawling over broken glass. He's blowing things up. Whatever it takes, man. So good for him.
Breaking out of planes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Putting the bunny back in the box.
Yep.
Come on.
It's an older movie. I don't know if everybody get a Con Air. What a reference. Let's talk about what sports that happened this weekend. Congrats to Xander Schauffele.
Yeah, Xander.
2 majors won already this year. He's quietly having a monster. Everybody's talking about Scotty Scheffler, obviously, because the amount of money and the amount of events he's won. Well, 2 of the majors have gone to this man, the X-Man, who's also the reigning, defending, undisputed, shout out to Paul Heyman, Olympic gold medalist who's going back to Paris to defend his Olympic gold medal. Xander Schauffele had a Sunday that people will talk about for a long time. Obviously, with the Open, formerly known as the British Open, but now politics and re-geographic titles have changed it to just the Open in the 152nd one. The weather was the story. Saturday was an ass-kicking win for all the golfers, but Sunday, pretty clear. Sunday was pretty good golf, and Xander sliced and diced Royal Troon to the tune of his second major dub in front of his dad, who looked like a lay. I had no idea that's what his dad looked like. Wow. Dad's a weapon, absolutely. Said he's going to drink out of the claret jug and have a good time. AJ, did you get to watch? And Xander is cerebral out there. The guy is unbelievable.
He is. He's kind of quietly going about having a very dominant year, obviously, but watching this thing, like when you watch him play here at the Open, like, would you want to play in a course like that? And how do you think you would do? I mean, it feels like every shot would be rolling into bunkers, no matter how good you hit it.
So I heard Billy Ho, who had his hat on backwards throughout the storm a couple different times because the wind and the rain, he looked so sweet.
Yeah.
I think Scotty Scheffler had a time where he had a hat on backwards as well, you know, because the wind could either, you know, you don't want that thing to blow up, but also if it's raining, that thing dropping off the front, no bueno. But Billy Ho said, you're kind of bunting it around. You know, he said, you're not taking like real, you're bunting this thing around. He said, mentally, it's fun. He like the way Billy Ho was focused or had it in his head. He was like, this is fun to like figure this out and to battle and to know that like mentally you're going to have to bunt it around as opposed to doing a full swing. And it's like, well, my entire golf game is bunting it around.
Yeah.
The only, if I could figure out where the hell it's going, I think I would enjoy it. But that's any golf. So I assume you looked at it and thought that you would love it, but your drive would get eaten up over there with how high you hit it.
I do. I love the fact that you can hit your driver, and hey, especially when you have fans there and you have people, like they'll find your ball. Like I always say, if I'm in play, I'm going to figure it out. I'll figure something out. So you can find your ball, yeah, but you might have to chip it backwards out of one of those deep old bunkers they have all over the place.
I saw Billy Ho, I think, hit one just out of the bunker. And obviously the bunker was like this at his head, and he had like this much room, and he was in contention. So the amount of times that hits off the top of that thing right back in it or bounces off, just like beautifully gets it out of there. And it's like, that has to be so cool to be able to step in there and know that you're going to have that. But those pros, more so than any other week that I've seen in some time, there was a lot of, hey, we're going the opposite direction. Yeah, this was filthy. Just absolutely filthy.
I mean, how?
But then the side.
Look how you like scooped it too. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Get up and down.
Yeah, and it gets it to like what, a foot or 2 feet or whatever. Backwards hat, Billy Ho doing his thing. But there's like a side shot of that where that thing is just like it jumps straight up in the air pretty much. It's like that has to be so much fun to have that much control. But in his eyes, when you're in that bunker with how big it is, no wind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. True.
So
almost better,
it's probably like a pretty exciting time. Also this weekend, racing happened. We'll be talking to Ryan McGee here in about 10 minutes or so. AJ, wait until you hear what went down at G1. I assume you've been made aware via our group text and other people talking about it. This thing is despicable. Ryan McGee will have to be on for when we talk about it. But D-Butch knew he was coming into a hostile environment today.
Yeah.
As an F1 fan, before we talk to McGee about it in about 5 minutes. This is just part of it?
It is. It was tough for me to watch, especially having a ticket to Orlando. Definitely tough for me to watch, but it's part of it. It's a team sport. It's not just about the one driver. It's about the team and the Constructors' Championship. There's 2 different championships going on. It's a Drivers' Championship. This was, my emotions were running high at this point. But it's a Drivers' Championship, and it's also a Constructors' Championship. And how everything played out.
What the hell does that mean?
I mean,
that is how. That's what Lando did the right thing. It was tough for him. It took him a while to do it.
No, that's what they told him.
He got guilted into it, but he did the right
Sounds
thing.
chicken shit to me.
Yeah, I mean, racing. We're racing.
Is this like when Cal Naughton Jr. would always let Ricky Bobby win with slingshot?
Yeah.
It's like in Ford.
Ain't no wrong second place. That's what they said to Lando.
Mm-hmm.
Good team.
What do you think about me winning one time here, Ricky?
Well, that's funny. Ain't nothing wrong with second place. You did win. You win second.
That's not how it works.
Every single time.
Then I don't win.
No, Lando, you win second. It's not easy to win second. Think about how many people you had to beat. You had to beat everybody but me. That's just
that's the way it goes.
That's F1 racing.
It's a long game. It's a long season. Lando's gonna need his
stupid game. That's what it is.
And his partner at some point in the season.
Just tell us the truth at the beginning. You know how we run that thingy at the beginning? It says it's comedic, informative, don't sue us, the opinions, yada, yada, that's a little preface. F1 people who all have phenomenal accents when I'm watching the coverage, they need to say, this ain't real racing.
These are just guys driving.
It's whoever they decide to win wins. It's just kind of a show, it's a showcase. That's what they need to say.
Yeah.
Get out now, D-Butt.
So then I know what I'm expecting.
It was real racing. Did you see Max Verstappen go airborne, hitting Sir Lewis Hamilton? It's a lot of real rubbing and racing.
Just shut up.
So Vanderstappen and Lando, okay? Lando, the one who was guilt-tripped into not winning this past weekend, even though the guy's got better tires than me and I'm beating him. So what are we even talking about? You don't win. Somebody else to win. Vanderstappen and Lando, they need to both leave that showcase league. We get it. You've been showcased enough. You've showcased. And come to do some real racing. We got some sprint track racing here in Indiana.
Yeah.
I think Max makes probably about $60 million a year.
Well, that would be like his TV money. His TV contract will be, hey, you're a fake race car driver. Because race car drivers actually like race and they're like trying to win. And then like the real race car driving can be done like in every other racing league that they're trying to win in. Yeah. That would be cool. That's what he could do. Because then we get to see him here in Indiana too.
Exactly.
There's a dirt track right here in Anderson, Indiana.
That's right.
We'd be drifting that thing trying to win. That'd be sweet.
Like the NFL script conversation, they need to have that with F1 because that's actually what's happening in F1. They have a script and they're just following it and no one really cares who wins.
So we're all kind of marks, I guess.
How so?
because we all just kind of song and dance, didn't get it. Like we all bought
Where's
it.
all the money coming from? How are they able to continue? They keep bringing all this money in.
It's a good show. They're selling tickets. They're moving product.
Yeah, the
On
sponsors.
site, but they get big TV money?
Well, yeah,
somebody?
it's like Bluey, bro. Like Bluey, Bluey can sell out of theater. Bluey sells merch. Bluey's on TV.
Yeah. Bluey on ice.
Bluey on ice.
Liberty Media bought them a few years ago, but ESPN, they got a TV deal with ESPN for what? I think 8 more
like
years.
$50, right?
Shit, me.
I think so.
And huge. Saudi Aramco, Rolex. Crypto, I think, is still a big sponsor.
So it is fake.
Okay.
Oracle, a lot of big sponsors.
Yeah, I get it. I love everything about it. That was wild to watch unfold. We'll talk about that with McGee. Let's talk about Aaron Rodgers, obviously, man, that you know very, very well. You were with him in Tahoe. Tahoe was the place in which he sat down with the Pardon My Take boys. And obviously, we are big fans of Pardon My Take. They have done a lot of great things for the internet for a long time out of Barstool Sports. Aaron sat down and said, yeah, I mean, you make a big deal out of it. Say I missed 2 OTAs. Okay, basically said bunch of bullshit. Pretty much, this is not real. He was at everything else. Missed 2 that are the same as pretty much everything else that happened. These ones are just labeled different, marketed different, and they are expected to be treated a little bit different. Is kind of how everybody views it. He obviously had a trip. I believe it has come out to Egypt that he had planned, I assume, way in advance. And once again, our understanding of the situation, mine, and I have not talked directly, is that the Jets knew this was going to happen. And then he shows up at 100% of the voluntary stuff, all in, 100% of let's say there's 30 of them altogether. He shows up at 28 of these things. And then the last 2, hey, just like we talked about a couple months ago, I'm not going to be able to make. Some teams have just canceled those 2. If certain people can't make it. If we have
paintball, sometimes team building, paintball situation, yeah.
Kickball, I've seen kickball. Concert, I've seen people have a team chemistry building event happens because we've had 100% attendance throughout the rest of it. So now, hey, we can either cancel this, we can shorten this, we can send guys home like the Packers actually did this year after this whole thing took place. But then it became a big story. Aaron finally addressed it. How do you feel about his addressing of it? And what do you think he meant to say in the long run? And did you hear what Maziano had to say about it all on Get Up this morning?
I heard a couple other reactions. I did not hear what Maz had to say.
Oh, we have it.
Pretty upset?
Yeah, we have it with Maziano, noted successful person who has accomplished a lot of things. Dan Maziano, this is what he had to say.
And it was an Aaron thing, which is the thing. Look, it's not a big deal. If he's healthy and he plays well and they win games, no one's going to remember that he missed minicamp.
Right.
The problem is, ever since Aaron Rodgers got to the Jets, he's taken 4 snaps.
Right.
And he's given 4 billion interviews, and he hasn't made any sense in any of them. So, the problem is, it's just one more Aaron Rodgers thing. Would you not love to fast forward to the first week of September and get him on the field and play the game?
Yes.
So the story is not about what he's saying or whether he's in Egypt or anything like that. That's the problem, is we're still stuck where we are over a year ago with Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. We need to see something in the form of football.
Yeah, and we can go check Maziano's record of saying things that make sense or turn out to be true or right. We just go back 4 years and see how everybody on that particular set talked about a man who never responded for himself ever, by the way, never. Now is kind of trying to answer for himself and get the real reasons of what's taking place, even though for 16 years, 15 years, didn't say anything to anybody, as narratives and stories and things were thrown at him in a massive way, pipe bombs thrown at him. He just sat there, took it, kept it moving. Now he responds, he answers. He's not making sense in any. Shut up, Maziano. Okay, but with Aaron talking about this, do you think he did more to move past it, or do you think he started more stuff because of the situation and how he answered and responded about where he was and how he views it?
I mean, I think maybe he started a little bit more of a conversation for a day or two, but that's how everything goes right now. Once camp opens up and everything kind of happens and we get to see them on the field, this stuff goes by the wayside. And Maz is right about the fact that, you need to win. But, if you win games, none of this matters. We know that. You can do and say whatever you want. If you win, things are all good. But to say that, Aaron's never made any sense in anything he is saying. It's a personal shot and shows us how you feel about the dude, which we get it, but we're trying to stick to or figure out how this affects the team. But man, that's the thing. I think with Aaron though, he's old enough, he's played long enough. He doesn't care. He's not giving you cliches, and he says that. And if you don't want athletes to give cliche, dumb coach answers, then, don't get too upset when you actually hear their real opinion.
Yeah, and if he was a rookie or something, and he played 4 snaps and he's doing a bunch of interviews.
We've seen what he's got a pretty good resume and track record we can go back and look at. Maybe not in New York yet because he had a tragic Achilles tear, but everything else, I think we know what he has done.
Yeah, he's a Mount Rushmore player in the history of our league. I don't even know if you're a Mount Rushmore of Mazianos. I haven't looked into it enough. I have no idea. So just, that entire situation is certainly something. But like Greeny asking Herm Edwards and talking, because they're Jets people obviously being like, does this mean anything? Herm Edwards like, this means nothing. We are all good. We will move along. I think that's the case. And a spiteful Aaron Rodgers, has always produced. And he's about love, certainly. But all the people that are in those Mount Rushmores, Maz, once again, you would have no idea, other than, I guess Greeny hangs around Greeny, so he is around a Mount Rushmore person at least once in a while. But like those people, boom, they stack. Like what Maz said right there is just getting clipped, put into a bowl, and Aaron is just doing this with that Maziano guy. And I guess that's maybe what he was trying to do. He's not the only one. You put him in a Super Bowl.
Yes.
Boston Connor put the Jets in the Super Bowl this upcoming season.
And that's exactly why. Because, there are so many big, little, dumb dipshits like Maz. And I feel like that is why, they talk about the New York media being such a negative. And with Rodgers, you can kind of view it the exact opposite. Like, all those media people who share that stance in New York is multiplied 10x because there are so many of them. So you can multiply those chips 10x. And you know what Aaron does when he gets like this, or when people talk about him like this, he goes out and he performs even better. And now, he's on a team that has completely loaded up in the offseason with Mike Williams, whole new offensive line. Obviously, Garrett Wilson's still there. You have to feel really good if you're a Jets fan because of the way people are talking about Rodgers throughout this offseason.
I'm pumped. I'm pumped to see it. AJ, I assume you had conversations with him out there at Tahoe at the American Century Champion, like the one that is on Pardon My Take today. I bet you're excited to watch your pal too. These are things that are pretty pumped. Pretty excited to see how he handles it all.
Yeah, well, you said he's all about love and light and everything that he's doing and all that stuff, but underneath everything, he is still the most competitive dude there is as well. So that's the thing that separates him from other people as well.
Any Bud Light, Michelob Ultra?
What?
You could give a lot of answers there. Miller Lite throws from cabin to boat at Tahoe, like we saw.
No, I do not believe so this time. Just him slinging the ball on 17 over and over again.
That beer can toss to boat
was nuts.
Yeah,
was one of the most absurd things of all time. It's just there's no warm up either. It's not like,
oh no,
let me see if I get this. Just yo, is there any beer up there? Coming right up. It's like the Subway commercial with Happy Gilmore, pretty much. Yeah. And he takes that thing, and somebody's in a boat down. And it's plop it right in there.
Bucket.
It's that guy could just spin it.
Yeah.
And then Hackett's thank God.
Please.
Somebody's coming in here.
Please.
Miss you.
That knows my offense. And we'll be able to work some magic. Everybody at the Jets fan base, I think you guys should be breathing easy knowing he's back. And the more you get, and maybe that's what Greeny's saying. Hey, Moss, just like whenever.
Yeah, maybe.
Remember when we were all doctors during 2020 and 2021? Let's do that again. Yeah. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's piss this guy off.
Gas him up.
Yeah, it's smart. Just start feeding Moss lines. Greeny over there, just yeah.
See, now that would be next. That'd be next level. Then that's just supports the reason why Greeny's on the Mount Rushmore, because he's thinking in his head hey, we need to piss this guy off right now, so that when season comes around, he'll be so freaking good.
This particular set has said some egregious things about Aaron. And what has Aaron done? Back-to-back MVPs. Let's
do that.
Let's do more of that.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the COVID days. Okay. Remember, we had all the answers. He didn't. Let's do that one again. Let's go ahead and do this entire thing. Joining us now is a man who's on a Mount Rushmore of people from the South.
Amen.
Absolute living legend down in North Carolina. A man who will eat Bojangles more than you will.
Yeah.
Friend of the program, Ron McGee.
Yeah, McGee.
Shout out to the Four Horsemen.
What's up?
Shout out to the Four Horsemen. Akron.
Always.
Shout out to the boys.
Always.
Not Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, the boys. We're talking about the four horsemen from his college, that he's friends with. Ryan, hey, McGee, you're at ACC Media Day. You stopped by there in Charlotte. All these things are happening. SEC Media Month just happened down in Dallas. Big Ten Media is happening here in Indianapolis this week. I believe we'll have Coach Rule, Coach Lanning stopping by this week at some points. You were down at the ACC one down there in Charlotte. What are the vibes? What are the vibes down there at the ACC Media Week?
It's weird, man. It's super weird. I live in Charlotte. I mean, I was down in Dallas last week for SEC. ACC only 15 minutes from the house. I'll be popping in and out during the week. But today's weird because Florida State is there today. Clemson will be there on Thursday, the final day. And they're suing the conference, right? They're trying to get out. And so, meanwhile, SMU is there today as a member of the Atlantic Coast Conference. And Stanford and Cal will be there later in the week. It's just weird, and they're talking about survival. Now, I've been to ACC Media Days before where they were talking about survival, like 10 years ago, and they managed to make it work. And that produced the TV contract that Clemson and Florida State are angry about, but they also signed off on it. So it's weird. They're trying to be positive, but the reality is if you're rolling in from Florida State, no one wants to talk about football. They want to talk about the fact that you're suing the conference and suing it right down the road in Charlotte. And so it's weird, but it's Media Days.
Yeah, Media Days being weird is certainly a good thing. Nick Saban picked Texas and Georgia to make the SEC championship.
That's right.
That was obviously a massive piece of the conversation down there in the SEC. Sankey saying, we're good. We are very thankful. The teams we added were actually geographically located exactly what we need. Sankey seemingly peacocking. Everybody else, I think, having a little bit of wondering what the future looks like. I believe the authority, Pete Thamel, came out and said that Florida State is not going to hit the deadline in time to leave the ACC by 2026. I think there's one coming up in August. I don't know. A lot of chatter about the lawsuit, and I assume that is only going to continue to grow as the week rolls on. What do you think the outcome is? Like, what do you think happens with the ACC? Let's go 5 years from now, McGee, if you just had to guess what it looks like.
Well, I'll give you my heart and I'll give you my brain. And my heart, because I grew up in North Carolina. I grew up on Tobacco Road. I really lived in Raleigh primarily most of my lifetime. And I don't want that to go away. Like I like for the ACC, I think the ACC is important. Been around since the early 50s. I want it to be around. That being said, I think it's a really impossible ask because once teams can jump, the reality is the Big 12 wants Florida State. I don't know where Clemson's going to go because South Carolina doesn't want them in the SEC. I don't think anybody else does either. They're a great brand, but I don't. The idea is to lock down states. Yes, the SEC is good right now, but if the SEC could get UNC, they could get Chapel Hill, and they could get Virginia, it would connect directly to the map. Those are brand names. It's just, I think it's all going to change again in the next half decade, and I think the ACC might be done. I mean, there'll be some form of it out there, but I don't want that to happen, man. I just don't. That's just me being a homer where I grew up. I'm a tradition guy. Y'all know that. I like Saturdays, some Saturday football and ACC, and just for basketball reasons. I mean, are we really going to break up Duke and Carolina in basketball? That doesn't feel good for anyone.
No one. And these are the rivalries that people talk about whenever they talk about college sports. Ohio State, Michigan, Duke, UNC. Basketball is what everybody talks about, but football had a little bit of run there in different spurts of the entire existence of it. And my naivete of this even being a possibility changed last year whenever we saw the Pac-12 drop out, whenever it was at its most strong. Like its strongest football-wise. That's when it was, and it ended up not getting a deal that could keep it together. Hopefully it doesn't happen to the ACC, because that is good history.
Oh, yeah.
Love the ACC. Now, they didn't want West Virginia.
Yeah, well, that's what, and that's the thing, too. So when you have the power, you can just do whatever you want, and you think you're good. And so you go back and look at the ACC and the schools that it added, and it made sense at the time, but the schools that it could have added and didn't do it because, we're good. We don't need you. Man, you don't think the ACC wouldn't want West Virginia right now? They're not a fit, not an academic fit, was what they said.
Whoa.
And now you look at the schools that have joined since then. They're very West Virginia-ish. You know what I mean? I just the stuff they said then, I was like, all right, y'all sound like the dinosaurs right before they went into the damn tar pits.
Oh,
that what happened?
I guess so.
We don't know. I mean, that's what
I know.
That sounds
breaking.
I'm going to take that as what did happen in our Earth's history. There's people that obviously have a lot of different ideas about that. We cannot get into all of those. West Virginia, though, baseball, basketball,
yes,
football. women's, I think our gymnastics, very like
the shooting team,
our rifle, like everything at West Virginia. And geographically, it would have been fantastic for West Virginia.
Fit your map, and you got Pitt in the conference. I mean, it made all the sense in the world. But at the time, again, when you're making money and you're the one sitting on the big TV contract, which is what the ACC was back then, then you think you got it, and one day you wake up and you're not cool anymore.
You guys love your sports teams, burn couches and stuff? I don't think so.
Yeah, we don't
Not
want
around
that.
here.
Okay.
You burn stuff?
Is that South Harmon Institute of Technology up there in Morgantown? I don't think so. Okay, we are not going to do that academically.
No shitheads.
That's seemingly what it was. And now we're in the Big 12, and it's our conference. So good luck to everybody. AJ has a question for you, McGee.
McGee, do you have an idea how this is affecting recruiting? Like if you're Florida State or Clemson, do the people that you're potentially bringing onto campus, do they care what conference you may be in? Do they care that you're in this lawsuit? And have you heard any players talk about this?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is posturing for recruiting, and quite frankly, it's why no one in the SEC wants Florida State. I mean, think about it. If Florida State's a great brand name and they got the history and they were obviously they had a chance to make the playoff a year ago, all those things, but if you're Georgia and you're Alabama and you're Auburn, and especially if you're Florida, you don't want those guys in the conference because your recruiting advantage is we're in the SEC and they aren't. And even if they go to the Big 12, and I like what the Big 12 is doing, but you can say we're in the SEC and they aren't. And South Carolina doesn't want Clemson in the SEC because that's the high ground they have on them, which is all right. If you want to play against Wake Forest and Duke, great. Or you could come play with us because we're going to – and it's also this idea of the revenue. Whenever the revenue sharing starts – then if the playing field is not equal, which it's not now, and I don't know it's going to be because we're waiting on, I guess, Congress, then, yeah, you can recruit on that. All right, we're going to have a lot more money than these guys. So, to me, there's no way you let those guys into your conference. But to answer your question, yeah, it affects recruiting. I don't think there's any question about it.
And coaches will definitely exploit all of this. All of it in recruiting. And obviously, we have a couple great recruiters in the office on NCAA 2K College Football 25. And the way you can kind of sway and say and
hard sell, soft sell.
Conference prestige matters.
Yeah, pipeline matters. Your conference prestige matters.
Coach prestige.
These 16, 17-year-olds, they know what's going on.
Yeah.
They see the writing on the wall. They see what the future looks like. Hopefully, the ACC can remain strong. Let's pivot away from college sports. Let's go to professional sports. One that you have written a book about. Your new book, Welcome to the Circus of Baseball, is obviously available now. Let's talk a little baseball. Ty, go ahead, pal.
Yeah, McGee, seeing how you are a baseball historian, I kind of wanted to just pick your brain on something real quick. Last night, Shohei Ohtani hit a 473-foot homer. Absolute nuke. Pretty much hit it out of Dodger Stadium. And when you first look at it, it's like, okay, is this really only 473 feet? It looks like he hit it 600. So we started doing a little bit of research. Ever since 2015, when the StatCast era started, they've kind of, moved away from how far guys are hitting homers to, it's all about launch angle and exit velocity and stuff like that. So we went and looked at what they've recorded as the top 10 longest home runs of all time. And obviously you can't find video of half these, and most of these, it's an estimation. It's, for Babe Ruth, it was, some old ass guy eating hot dogs who took a tape measure out and just said, I think Babe Ruth hit 575, 850, let's say 575 foot home run. Some of these though are actual bombs. I know like one of them, Mo Vaughn, who hit a 505 foot homer for the Mets. This one right here, he hits it halfway up the scoreboard at Old Shea Stadium, and it says right on there, estimated distance 505 feet, which is kind of horseshit. If the scoreboard's not there, it looks like he might have hit it 600 feet. But why are they doing, like, in kind of just the grand scheme of things, like, is this kind of taking away from what guys are doing now? Because you see guys like Shohei and Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton who are hitting these just massive bombs, but then you rank them next to, Mickey Mantle.
1921.
Yeah, exactly. 1921. Babe Ruth's hitting it, 575. Like, are we at a point in baseball now, and this is one of the things that I hate the most, where people are going to be more enamored with, he hit it 118.6 miles an hour off the bat. The exit velocity is out of this world. The launch angle was, 18.9 degrees. Like, does anyone care about that bullshit, or do we need to kind of go back to like, hey, Shohei Ohtani just hit a 575-foot homer out of Dodger Stadium?
Well, that's not what the math's on. I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
you see, it was 600 feet.
Exactly. Why is this the way it is? And I guess that's just kind of baseball as a whole.
I wish we had my dad on right now. My dad is the coolest 80-year-old in the world, and
Is he like Bojangles? Is he like Bojangles?
He was an ACC Big East referee. I mean, my dad's story is off the chart. He gets so wadded up talking about exit velocity. Hell, man, we're talking about exit velocity on a damn fly ball, and he's right. And I was at the All-Star game in Dallas last week, or in Arlington, and I haven't been to a big league game in a while, and they're throwing up exit velocities on everything. Like a guy hits a grounder, there's exit velocity. What the hell do I care about that? But no, so I always heard about there's 2 home runs that Mickey Mantle hit in old Yankee Stadium. It was like 1956 when I think he won the Triple Crown, or like 1963. And they always claimed, so old Yankee Stadium, there was this gap. You can see the train out there. There was this gap down the right field line, and he barely hit like the top of the facade up there. And some sports writer for like the New York Daily Post named Steelhead Johnson or something. So it went 750 feet, or it would have gone 750 feet. So you're right. That's how it was then. If the damn guy hits it out of the ballpark, let's just enjoy that. And let's say, that thing probably went 600 feet. That's all I got. You know what I mean? I think you can be too specific. And I think that's baseball's problem, like WAR and all the Moneyball stuff and all that. I get it. And there are people who are going to nerd out on that stuff forever. But I don't need to hear about it all the time. You know what I mean? Like if a guy hits it out of the stadium, damn, he hit it out of the stadium. I don't need to have a physics lecture on what it did.
Hey, I agree completely. And I think the reason why, wanted to chat about it is because records and shit that Shohei and all these guys are going to have, so this one is in specific so hard. It's going to be impossible. 575 feet is what they said.
Hit it out of Dodger Stadium.
No, but they said Babe Ruth hit it into another stadium.
Yeah, 100 feet further.
100 feet further than that. Babe Ruth hit.
Way.
And I saw a video that had been they updated and added color.
Yeah.
This dude is like walking through the batter's box as he's having an at bat.
Slap hitting like a softball player almost.
Bingo. And the butt of the bat is actually hitting him in the gut. So he hit it 100 feet further than Shohei Ohtani. No offense, Babe Ruth. No offense.
Well, he's dead, so.
Well, his family.
None taken.
Y'all ever seen these softball guys?
Oh, yeah.
Like there's
big son of a bitch, Braun Strowman.
Most of them are. So I was at a game in like Cleveland, like saw whatever they were then, their mascot. But I saw a game in Cleveland, and they had
What's their name? Was it a baseball? What? Was it the professional baseball team over there?
It was the professional baseball team, the Guardians.
Oh, the Commanders, the Cleveland Commanders. Yeah, got it.
So, but these guys were jacking softballs literally out of the stadium. Everybody's just flipping out, and the bats were so tricked out. The bats were literally like exploding, and they get another bat. We get on the plane to come back to North Carolina, and all those damn guys got on the plane. They were all from North Carolina. They were all these Gastonia, North Carolina, like church rec league rednecks, and they started this thing. They toured the country and the world, like hitting these things. I don't care how far they hit it. All I know is those guys were hitting softballs literally out of Jacobs Field, and that's all I care about. And so but shout out to the Gastonia, North Carolina rednecks who have made a lot of money.
Yeah, and rednecks everywhere who have really taken beer league softball to the next level. Yeah. Because at one point it was just a bunch of drunks out there. Then a couple old college baseball players got drunk out there. They're like, wait a second, we can actually make this ball float a little bit. And they're like, wait, if we really get in, like Braun Strowman's dad, I guess is like the biggest bomb hitter in the history. Huge, gigantic dude. Yeah. And they just they slap those things. Oh, yeah. And they just gone. See you later.
Yeah. That's fine.
It is fine. It's fun.
Whatever. I got no issue with that. But I love that. When I worked at ESPN right out of college 30 years ago, we used to play in the daytime, like Bristol, Connecticut softball league, because we all went to work at 4:00 in the afternoon. So it'd be us against like the postal workers and like the third shift guys from the hardware factory, and those dudes I don't think they care what exit velocity is. They just want to say, damn, that guy hit it hard.
Yeah. That's a good time. That's baseball in a nutshell. Think about the vibes. ESPN team going to play daytime softball.
Kind of sweet.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Need that
Let's get back to that.
Yeah.
It's not going to help when I'm calling Maziano, but
Tim Kirchin at the hot corner.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's down there.
Timmy K.
He's displaying the glove.
Yep, exactly.
Scott Rowland.
And Tommy Mansky.
All right, let's get to the main event here of Conversation with McGee. In an actual race where people are racing, trying to win.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I agree. Hey, McGee, we're going to get to it. We don't need to jump right into Fugazi 1 unless you want to. But let's talk about Kyle Larson winning at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Obviously, he tried the Indy 500. Then he was going to go down and did a Coca-Cola 600. The weather obviously held it all up. Didn't make his dream come true at all. But I think he learned a bunch. Now, in the Brickyard 400, in overtime laps, KY was running top 10 and gets wrecked out about 6 laps left. Actually caused the overtime. Everybody's kind of pissed off about that, actually. And KY is going to get back with that Cheddar's car in victory lane at some point with Childress Racing. But Kyle Larson gets a win at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And everybody in every car, from what I've been told, was trying to win. This guy won over everybody else. How do you feel about this? Is it historic because of the Indy 500 stuff that's inevitable for Kyle Larson? Or what are your thoughts on this win for NASCAR with racers racing, trying to win?
Well, it was great, and it was good for him. And NASCAR was in a tough spot, and I'm not one to give NASCAR a pass on anything, but they had to make a split-second call. A car spun on the backstretch and was moving, and as long as the car is moving and they think it can get out of the way, they leave the green flag out. So they left the green flag out. They took the white flag. Once they take the white flag, that's it. I mean, the race is going to end. And so that car stopped moving, and it was in the way. And I don't want anybody to get killed. Back in the day, the reason this rule exists is back in the day, they would race back to the finish line, no matter where the wreck was. And I've so many times watched guys either wrecked, got driven through. I thought Dale Jarrett was going to get killed at New Hampshire one day when I was there because his car started on the front stretch, and they're still racing. Those guys are going to go all the way to the finish line. So they threw out the caution. The race ended under caution. No one wants that. But NASCAR was in a tough spot. So no one, of course, the conspiracy theorists, tried to give it to Kyle Larson. No, they didn't. They didn't want to happen. No, Kyle Larson won the race. He came out of nowhere in the last 30 laps and was in position to win that race. I wished it would have finished under green too. Always do. But that's just what it was, and they made the best call that they could. Great for Kyle. And what's crazy, it was cool is that's the paint scheme and the sponsor, the exact one that he was supposed to run in Charlotte had he made it back to Charlotte. When I was sitting with you guys, back in May, that's why I was there. I followed Kyle Larson. He had a chance to win the Indy 500 and screwed it up. He had a mistake on pit road. And then we got on a plane to go to Charlotte, literally landed in Charlotte. He ran to his car, which had already started the race, and it started raining. And he never ran a lap. So a little bit of redemption for him. And so now I think he is going to, I know he's going to try to run the Indy 500 again one day. And he'll be the first driver, I think, to win both races, the Indy 500 and the Brickyard 400, which is a really, really, really big deal.
Very big deal, especially here in Indianapolis. Greatest racetrack on earth here, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. They handed him the race, Ryan Blaney going crazy there, and then him feeding into it and quote tweeting and going, "Thanks, NASCAR, for giving me that entire thing." Yeah, we like that, right? We enjoy this from Kyle Larson. We like a little sauce. We like how this whole thing is going.
Yeah, and personality has never really been his thing. Like, he's behind closed doors, he's a funny guy and all stuff, but publicly he's never really been
not too
like
funny.
A snarky, funny dude. Your boy Kyle Busch, that's always been him, right? Okay. And so for Kyle Larson to be like this was pretty cool. So, no, it was great. And they were back on the oval. All right, so you may or may not know this, but they raced on the oval forever. This is the 30th anniversary of the first Brickyard 400 in 94, with Jeff Gordon won.
Yep.
And then they kind of went away from the oval, started running the road course because the oval races were awful. And they wisely, I think, have gone back to putting those stock cars on that oval. And this was the first one back in a long time. And Kyle Larson won the race, which he should have because he's the best we have right now.
Amen. Amen. Best driver in the world.
That's right.
Any race car you put him in, he would win if he was allowed to.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this, McGee. You know racing a lot more than me. And I know Ricky Bobby and Kyle Naughton had slingshot. And I know there's been people that have been working together on racetracks for a long time. Here's what went down at the Hungarian Grand Prix this weekend with two teammates, Lando and Oscar. Lando is the character who was in the lead Londo is the character who's pulling away from the rest of the crowd. Oscar was his teammate who was in second place, but boy, did he race a good race that day. He didn't have the pole. Londo had the pole. Oscar was in second, but this is what happened towards the end of this race. You will hear two videos here. The first video will be the strategist for Londo in the team talking to him, basically telling Londo he needs to stand down and not win the race that he is clearly about to win.
When was the moment for Andrea Stella to step in and go, enough of this, I'm going to issue a direct instruction?
So if there's a safety car now, it's going to make this very awkward. Please do it now.
Lando Norris is backing off. He was on the cusp of a second Grand Prix victory. And it's a situation that DC knows from his career. A swap of positions. Oscar Piastri goes back through into the lead of a Grand Prix. The gap in the Drivers' Championship could have come down to 69 points, but instead, the man from Melbourne leads.
Yeah, you don't need to say anything.
Londo on the way back telling his pit strategist crew guy, whenever the race is about to end, you don't need to say anything. Okay, don't say shit to me. What is this? How is this possible? And they're not trying to win these races? Should we not be told that at the very beginning of this thing? Like, hey, they're not trying to win. We're just trying to figure this out.
Disclaimer, right?
Yeah, we just need a disclaimer that they're not actually racing.
Can I tell you how Lando got in first?
No.
Oh, no.
How about that?
No.
How about that?
This is no.
Go ahead, D-Bud, please.
Because this obviously give you some context. So, teammates, McLaren teammates. Oscar was in first. He got in first place, even though Lando had pole. Oscar was in first. Lando was in second. But Lewis Hamilton was in third and could be applying pressure to Lando. So usually the teammate in first place, they get first rights to the pit stop. But no, they pit Lando first to avoid the undercut. So if you pit stop, get out in front and then be in front of Lando to avoid that for Hamilton. So they pit Lando first, pit Oscar second. So obviously Lando's going to be in the lead. And they tell Oscar like, hey, we're pitting Lando, but once he gets back out on the track, we're going to invert positions and, reestablish the order. So once Lando got in first, he obviously had much better pace and was the faster car, and he was pissed off, didn't want to do it, didn't want to give the lead back. He wanted to win, obviously. It was more so, in my opinion, a mistake with the pit wall, the team, to put Lando in that position. Lando obviously made a point to extend the gap and then made it more dramatic than I think it needed to be. But it's a part of the sport. Obviously, I'm new to it as well. McGee give us much more context on it, so I'm interested to hear what Ryan has.
Does this happen in all racing, and we just don't know because we're doofuses?
No. So it's called team orders.
Oh.
It's been around forever. You heard in the call from Sky Sports, he said this is something DC is familiar with. He's talking about David Coulthard, who's an analyst and was a great Formula One driver.
Brother?
Yeah, but he found himself in this position a couple times, but it's team orders. Typically, if you're the number one driver on the team, and there's two drivers on each team, and there's always a 1 and a 2, and typically if you're the number one driver, and if you're a title contender, which Lando is, and you've won a race before, which Lando has, then typically they defer to you, and it's the number 2 guy has to get out of the way. We see guys leave teams all the time because they're like, I'm tired of having to get out of the way to let the number 1 guy win the race. I hate it. I hate everything about it. I understand undercutting. I understand they screwed up the strategy. It's not Lando Norris's fault. What they did put him in the lead of the race, and he's running away with it. So that part drives me crazy. And also, I get that the kid was going to win, and they screwed him out of it, and they were trying to make amends, and he's trying to win his first Formula One race, which is obviously a huge deal for anyone. But if we get to the end of the season and Norris has a chance to win a championship, and he loses the championship by a point, which we've seen in recent years, and it comes down to this call, that's the dumbest damn thing. I just don't get it. And again, it's not exclusive to Formula One, but they really excel at it. What you see in NASCAR is, you get points for leading races. And then what you'll see sometimes is they'll say, hey, so-and-so, get out of the way, let your teammate just lead a lap, and then you can take the lead back. And it's happened before, and we've seen guys do this to help other guys win stages and stage points, but not the end of the race. Like not the final outcome of the race. And so, no, I hate it. I hate everything about it. I've always hated it. When I was a kid, I would start screaming at the television, even if it was my guy that was going to win the race. And I just to me, it flies in the face of competition. If you screwed up in the pits, okay, whatever. That's your deal, man. You screwed that up. And I give Norris credit, I guess, for being a team player because his teammates helped him before. There's no question about it because he's the number one guy. But running for a championship, man. What the hell are you doing?
What are we racing for? We're trying to catch Max Vanderstappen, who's at the top of that. Here's him from last year with his team trying to tell him to do something similar.
I think on the team radio.
Max, let Checo through, please. Max, what happened?
I told you already last time. You guys don't ask that again to me. Okay? Are we clear about that?
Okay.
I gave my reasons, and I stand by it.
So they try to ask Max to do something similar for a teammate, and he goes, don't ever ask me to do that again. And he's, lo and behold, the only one that wins. He's the only one that's winning.
Wow.
Shit.
That's how you win championships. I remember when NASCAR back in the 90s, NASCAR used to be just single car teams. Yeah, one team, one car, everybody worked on the same car, whatever. And then they started expanding the teams. I remember when Richard Childress Racing, y'all just had Kyle Busch on the show.
Wow.
Dale Earnhardt Sr., the Intimidator, the man in black, one tough customer, all that stuff, the seven-time Cup Series champion, and almost 80 wins. And he had a teammate for the first time. It was a guy named Mike Skinner. And when they would ever hint at all, not just about Earnhardt trying to help Mike Skinner lead a lap, just helping him in testing or helping him in practice. And Earnhardt's like, the hell with that. I'm not doing that. I'm going to help this guy beat me. And so it's the difference between being a champion and not. And I give Lando credit because, man, he let them know. I really believe he let them know. And he is a great race car driver and an extremely polite British kid, right? But I think that he let them know, all right, we're not going to do this again. That this favor, we have cashed this check. We're never doing this again. And so I hate it, everything about it.
Yeah, it's tough, obviously, for Lando, and they lay it on thick. We actually have the entire transcript of what the pit was saying to Lando, and we'll go through that, and we'll have a dramatic reading in the next hour. They guilt-tripped the shit out of Lando. I mean, they guilt-tripped him.
He helped you.
We know you
did. He helped you, Lando.
We know you did the right thing. We know you did.
He's helped about 18 laps.
Really good.
What else?
He's helped you.
So you don't win a championship on your own, Lando. You do it with your teammates.
I mean, there was.
That's really good. That's really good. I cannot wait for this.
All right, we appreciate the hell out of you, ladies and gentlemen. Author, writer, legend, Ryan McGee. Thank you.
McGee.
That was really good. I can't wait for this. D-Butts sent the entire transcript in from one of the Athletic tweets, who will be joining an Athletic writer here in a matter of moments out of Green Bay to see if there's any controversy over there or not, especially as practice has continued to roll on. But the way that the pit is talking to Lando, such a heavy guilt trip. I mean, just guilt-tripping the shit out of this dude who's winning. There's a lot going on.
Mm-hmm. Has he won a race yet? Has Lando won a race yet?
Yeah. He's number two. He's number 2 in the entire thing. Mm-hmm. I mean,
it's so obvious there. It's just way too obvious, I think, too. Like the amount, he basically just stopped.
Yeah, he's in second. He's second best driver in Formula One.
And like a quarter of the driver championships throughout time has come down to like 3 points or less.
And a win is worth how much?
So the difference between first and second place, 25 points for first place, 18 points for second place. So you got a 7-point gap. So if he loses the driver championship by 7 or less, obviously everybody's going to look back at this moment.
Machi.
Yep.
Shouldn't Verstappen have like 1 billion points because he's won every race? Why is it even this close?
Well, he hasn't won every. He had a hell of a start. Obviously, he dominated last season. Had a hell of a start this year. Remember, Lando won this season. Honestly. 13 races in, I think 7 different drivers have won a race already.
Yeah, it's good parity, I guess, from the F1, even though Max Vanderstappen's at the top. And I'm normally a team person. Like, hey, I'm a team sport guy. But we can't be hearing that this is fake. Like they're not. And it didn't help the team. The team still got first place points and second place points.
The team morale.
For who? Your best driver hates everybody.
Individual. Not for that guy.
The second driver, it matters too. You need him.
Yeah, and think about what we'll get into there. Mm-hmm. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, as we have a hard out on ESPN coming up in 3 minutes, but we will continue on YouTube, TikTok, and ESPN Plus. Ladies and gentlemen, writer for The Athletic from Green Bay, city that I'll be in this evening for Monday Night Raw. Matt Schneidman.
Yeah, Schneid.
Holy shit! In Lambeau with a mustache. This is awesome. Thank you for joining us.
The house that AJ Hawk built.
Well,
Damn right.
Curly Lambeau is obviously rolling over in his grave right now and not happy with what you just did. But you're right. A man who tackled more people than any other person in that stadium is the man on the far right side of the screen. In the middle, Matt Schneidman, reporter from The Athletic for the Green Bay Packers. Thank you for this backdrop. This is sick. I want to let you know you look sweet right now. We know you're at the Open. We only have 2 minutes left on ESPN before we go to digital, so if I cut you off, that is why this is happening. Let's get right to it. Jordan Love's situation. We had Schefter on from a car in Pennsylvania because of flight delays. He thinks that a deal is going to get done, but has heard from both sides that maybe not. Is there a fear on the ground there in Green Bay that a deal doesn't get done? This feels inevitable. Is that how everybody's kind of viewing it?
I think people have a little PTSD from when Goody said in January he absolutely expected Aaron Jones to be back, and then he obviously wasn't. This is different. This is not a running back that the organization considered expendable. This is your franchise quarterback. There's no messing around with this. I mean, Jordan Love walked out to practice all smiles, shoulder by shoulder with Matt LaFleur. Goody said he thinks something's close. He said this was expected, that Jordan Love would kind of hold in. It's not really a holdout, it's a hold in. Jordan was still active at practice. He's doing everything else. There's really no worry. Goody said straight up he thinks they are close to a deal. So if it's in the next couple days or in a week or so, I wouldn't be surprised. If it drags out a couple weeks, then maybe there starts to be a little concern, but I don't expect that to happen.
When you talk about a little bit of concern, what is the level of concern? Is it like, oh no, we got another quarterback situation with Green Bay that maybe we didn't need to have?
No, I don't think so. Talking to LaFleur and Goody this morning, Love didn't talk today. There seems to be really no concern. Goody said that he understands where Love's camp and David Mulugheta is coming from, and he said, we expected this to happen. So I don't think there's any concern really from either side.
Okay, so if they expected it, why didn't they get it? I mean, there's just those types of things you can obviously nitpick and kind of get into it all. But have you asked about Mulugheta's prolific abilities to get max contracts to Guti or LaFleur? Matt Schneidman will answer that in about 10 seconds as we go strictly digital and off of ESPN. We hope you had a fantastic Monday. Have a great night. Monday Night Raw live from Green Bay at 8 on USA. We'll see you tomorrow. Right on the screws. Right on the fucking screws on this Overreaction Monday to get to the digital. Thank you so much. I'm trying to win.
Yeah.
Big deal.
Yeah, I'm trying to win. I'm like F1 in there. But do you bring up who the agent is to Goody or to LaFleur about how that is certainly a driver of this whole thing? This guy is, if not the best agent in the NFL right now when it comes to maximizing value at every single position. Definitely the quarterback position as Deshaun Watson's agent.
Yeah, we didn't actually have to bring it up because Goody brought him up by full name himself. So Goody knows who he's dealing with. He kind of gave him his respects, said Russ Ball, who's the Packers executive VP, who kind of does all their cap stuff and their contracts, and David have kind of been doing this professionally for a while. So he's confident with where negotiations are going. He knows David is going to try and milk him for every last dollar, as he should. That's what he's really good at. So I see people saying, oh, Jordan Love has only played 8 good games. He should play another season. But people have to understand this contract is not just based on what Jordan Love has done. It's a projection of what he's going to do. And David Mulugheta is probably asking, I don't know this for certain, for Jordan Love to be the highest paid player in NFL history. If he sees Jared Goff getting 53, Trevor Lawrence getting 55, those are 2 great players. But if Jordan Love continues on his trajectory that he kind of started on midway through last season, this deal, if they pay him, let's say $56 million a year, could seem like a bargain in a couple of years with salaries continuing to go up.
Go ahead, AJ.
Schneidman, what about on the defensive side of the ball? I know they brought in Jeff Hafley to be the new defensive coordinator. What kind of changes can we expect to see from them? And also, are we going to see some young rookies getting some time early this year?
Yeah, around here, they don't really give rookies starter snaps in the offseason, but the starting safety alongside Xavier McKinney during the very first team rep today was Javon Bullard, their second-round safety from Georgia, who they took with the 58th overall pick. So he's probably going to start. It seems cliche, and you may think, why don't all defenses do this? But the common refrain around here when asked how Jeff Hafley's scheme is different from Joe Barry's is they say we're going to have a lot more TFLs and sacks and just be aggressive and attack-minded up front.
Hell yeah.
It seems that they think they were a little more passive on the defensive line under Joe Barry, and guys have really emphasized we're getting after it. We're not playing, tentative or laid back. We're going to be the enforcers up front. Is that going to translate to more sacks and TFLs? I don't know, but it seems they definitely have that mindset at this point of the offseason.
In professional sports, normally what you focus on is normally what the outcome is. Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, Schneid's obviously the Jordan Love situation notwithstanding. What's kind of the morale around everyone else? Does this feel like a team who kind of understands after last year what they did in the playoffs that like there are pretty much Super Bowl expectations for this team, even though they're very, very young still?
Yeah, I think so. I wouldn't call it Super Bowl or bust, but I think they definitely have their sights set on a Super Bowl. You know, Goody wouldn't go as far to say that, but we were just talking to Jaden Reed in the locker room, a guy who really broke out as a rookie last year, and I kind of asked him, you know, you guys expect to just hit the ground running? Because we all know they kind of used the second or the first half of last season to kind of figure things out, and he goes, we expect to pick up right where we left off in the playoffs. So I wouldn't be surprised to see this team kind of hit the ground running in Brazil week 1. And yeah, everyone in there has their sights set on a Super Bowl. I think that they have every reason to based on what they accomplished last year.
Yeah, I hope, the Packers continue to go. But boy, day 1, huh? What are we talking about?
I love it.
Not football stuff. Oh, we're part of the problem. We know that. We have been for this entire thing. But this Packers team seemingly figures it out. And Gutekunst gets it right. That is, long term, I think, and I've said this 1,000 times, and I will continue to say it, we were wrong alongside a lot of people when Guti was thinking about the future. Now, if they draft somebody and win a Super Bowl that year, we'll never be able to tell that. But we're sitting in a situation right now with Jordan Love because of a decision that Guti had to make whenever the rest of the world wouldn't have made that decision. So I think I have faith in him. Seems like he has faith in Mulugeta. This deal will get done, but why didn't it? And then this deal will get done. Well, why Schefter hearing from both sides? It might go both ways. This deal will get done. There will be no drama, but it's just the way it is. I guess we just understand that this is just how football is, Schneidman.
Yeah, I was listening to the show earlier, and like you said, Pat, no deal is close, no deal is done until it's done. Because you never know what someone's going to ask for or whatnot. So right now there's no worry, but nothing's finished. He's not going to be on the field until the ink is dry on that paper.
Yeah, but in the meeting rooms is when it matters right now.
Bingo.
Right now, in the meeting rooms, when it matters.
If he leaves, that would be a problem. That's when you could worry, I think. Jordan Love is there walking on the field with Matt LaFleur. If all of a sudden Jordan Love is like, things are really went south, then he takes off and he doesn't come to practice. I think that's when you could worry.
Maybe he should.
And I think we have seen that before. And that is a move that Mulugeta is a chess player. Mm-hmm. Not saying the Gutekunst isn't. He's proven close to selling on draft night. Nobody's going to see it. A couple years from now, we'll have to deal with it. But like this, I hope this doesn't get louder than what it is.
Yeah.
Because everybody, I think myself included, Schneidman, all the local people, AJ, Ty, we all are like, it's going to get done, right?
Oh, yeah.
But boy.
What if?
Now it needs to get done.
The NFL, the NFL is a wild, wild place. Now let's get away from Green Bay Packers talk. Let's go to something else. D-Butt has a question for you, Schneider.
Yeah, I know you're out at Royal Troon. I just want to know, obviously a lot was going on. Rory not making the cut, absolute piss poor mindset after hearing him speak. Rom been in the top 10. Obviously Xander winning another one. What was your biggest takeaway after being at the Open?
Yeah, it was good because I had my main bet was Rory plus 800 to win, so that was nice. I want to say this first. So when Ty texted me as I was boarding my flight the other day to come on, I absolutely would have. I told my parents about it because I was with them at the airport. I went with them. And my mom's first response was, Pat always treats people from all aspects of life with respect, so make sure you do the same when you go on there. So just want to throw that out there.
That's like a bully.
That's very nice. Yeah. I mean, that's very kind. Tell her I said thank you. Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mama
well,
Steinman. Not everybody feels that way. So I would like Mama Steinman to get in front of more microphones. Tell her we appreciate that. And you're great on our show always, so we appreciate you making time.
I appreciate that. Yeah, it was a great experience. My main takeaway was not only would I shoot probably a 200 or 250, it's the damage control these guys do. I mean, the course is so hilly. You walk across the fairway as you're walking the course, and there's not like a flat lie. I'm inside golf here, and I'm no golf expert, but you're screwed regardless of what you do. So much of it is, shot management, being conservative, not really going for it. Guys are laying up on par fours on their second shot. So what Xander did yesterday was absolutely incredible. But for a sports fan, and I know we are all that on this show, it's absolutely a bucket list experience.
I saw that house, 2 units for sale. I think it was like $1.9 million for one of them.
Really?
It's like believe me, this weekend was looking at the phone. I'm like, do I just go on Zillow? How do I go ahead and buy this thing? Because can we get both of them? Can we bundle this thing?
Come with a membership.
And then red, white, and blue.
Bingo. We're putting American flags on the roof.
Yep.
Hey, how often does the Open go to Royal Troon? How many different courses does it bounce around?
It's not there for a while, I don't think.
Yeah, the last time it was there was 2016 when Stenson beat Phil, and then the last time before that I think was 2004 maybe. So every 8 to 10 years maybe.
AJ, that'd be such a long play, which is something I am not known for at all. But if I almost tried to buy that thing this weekend, if I would have had one more espresso martini down there at Salt,
we screwed up
on Saturday night, I would have potentially pulled the trigger on that thing.
Fed you one.
Yeah, I mean, there was a chance. It was awesome. It looked cool.
Yeah.
Like, it looked cool. Even when the weather was terrible on Saturday. Like, it just looked cool. Like, I think to myself, oh, that's how it is in Europe. Like, that's how the weather is.
Exactly.
You know, like, it is just not good weather. I went to Ireland, which we're, like, the football is going back over there. I think they are going to enjoy the shit out of Ireland. People all have similar mindsets. I think it's still going to be, but the weather is exactly as advertised. It's just like when you go to Seattle or Oregon. I went to Oregon for college game day. It was just misting like the entire day. Like, does this count as rain? It's rain. That's just how it is over there, I think, right? So I think as I was watching, I'm like, yeah, like people want to see Lambeau frozen.
Yeah.
Like people want to see Green Bay frozen.
Bingo.
They want to see that. Like, that's how I want to see that's how I want to see it. So it felt like from a spectator standpoint, awesome. The golfers had to be miserable, though. Just had to be so fucking miserable out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's impossible conditions to play through. The wind and the rain. That's when you get the backward hats, which is awesome, I think. When, you got that guy, Dan Brown, who I think is like 272nd in the world, lighting cigs and taking selfies with fans.
Legend.
It was awesome to watch. Connor, I actually live bet him to win at plus 1,000 when I saw that, which didn't turn out. But I saw your tweet that he's your new favorite golfer. Maybe he'll pull one through next year.
Yeah, we all bet on. I mean, I think we all saw the SIG situation.
Yeah, you guys ranked that one. I know all you guys pretty much been golf fans much longer than I have. That you guys ranked that one up at the top. I saw a lot of tweets. Hey, this is absolutely the best. Major.
Are they saying it's a pinnacle? Is that what they're saying?
That's what they're saying. That Open is the pinnacle. Obviously, I thought that was the Masters for a lot of people.
Well, they're trying to win, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah, every golfer was trying to win.
Yeah, it's like a real sport. Yeah.
They claim they started golf over there, right? Isn't that where golf started? Is over there somewhere? That's why.
Yeah. Wait, were you pissed because Xander didn't let Justin Rose win? Or?
No, it wasn't. It was individual sport.
Did you think that he should have let him just miss the gimme there?
Yeah, at the end, just triple bogey on purpose.
Didn't.
What if Xander was walking up that thing just so pissed off, and we publicly got to hear that somebody's telling him, "You got to miss this putt here, right?"
It's his home country, Xander. You need to let him win.
For golf, you're going to go miss the putt, Xander. You've worked your entire life for this moment. Miss the putt. How about the racers? Lando, this guy that got told you can't win another race. Think about all the life-threatening situations he has been in to get to that moment.
Yeah.
Number 2 driver, and his entire life he's committed to this thing. Hey, off the gas, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I love Vanderstappen because of that video. Like,
he's
hey,
the only
don't
one.
fucking ask me again. Yeah.
Staff is a fucking asshole, okay? And look, that is the reason why you
gets the medal, huh, D-Boy?
Hey, sorry we're eating up your time. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate the hell out of you. You're the best, brother.
Appreciate it, guys, as always.
Ladies and gentlemen, match time.
Yes, nice.
Anyways, go ahead, sorry.
But look, I love the mindset. Look, I'm not giving anybody a place, but Max had already locked up the championship for that season. They asked him to let his teammate through so he could get up to P2 to be in second place. And Max is like, hey, I already gave you my reasons. Fuck that. I'm never letting anybody pass me on the track.
I fucking love this
once
guy.
again.
Are we racing or not?
Or you can hate him for being a bad teammate because a lot of times throughout that season, Checo Perez, the Mexican Minister of Defense,
that's his nickname?
Yeah.
I like that.
Gave
I like
him
that
a lot of opportunities.
He's a fullback. I like
Hey, he does the dirty work. That's usually what number 2 driver does the dirty work.
And that's why no one will remember his name.
You gotta at least let the guy finish. Good point. Fair point.
Okay, so I appreciate that I'm learning now that racing is a team sport. I always just thought it was one person that was getting hoisted and in the car and everything. And I understand their pit crews part of their team. Other drivers, other pit crews, other buildings, they're all part of the same team. We're all trying to do the same thing that is very cute. But are we going to have horses now start running for each other too? Like, are we worried that you guys are ruining racing completely as a whole? What's next? Owner has 2 horses in a Kentucky Derby. Says, hey, listen, jockey, hey, once we turn the corner, you're up in the front. Need you just take a header. Just dive off, take off the other people, and then our other horse will understand it'll be in dead last, they'll be able to sneak
He will
through.
come.
We'll win this entire thing. When is it too far? When is too much? Too much? Do we know that already?
You know, it's a team sport, and I think the pit fucked up that part of it, so they tried to cover their ass and guilt trip Lando into basically correcting
Now,
it. So,
speaking of that guilt trip, we would like to, and this is a Darius Butler production. He's the one that sent.
Could you imagine if you bet on Lando to win?
That's what-
If your biggest bet of all. So then what are you doing standing
I
here
was
on
pissed.
the soapbox for this fucking
I was
asshole?
pissed. I understood. You saw me. I was out. I tweeted out, hey, I'm out of this bullshit. But I understood it from the bigger point of it. But I was.
There's a lot of people that bet on Lando.
What did he tell his family? His family probably was so pumped. Hey, here we go. We got another win. And then, oh no, what happened? His car must have died. No, he had to let off the gas.
And they say it's a Grand Prix.
Yeah, but think of Oscar's family.
Yeah. So we have the entire transcript here on why Lando ultimately decided to just hand off the lead. Ty, if you could, and Con Man.
Okay, Oscar, once you get to Lando, we will swap positions, but we want to avoid Lando giving up a lot of race time. We need to save more tires, please. We do want to let Oscar through.
Yeah, well, we should have had him box him first then, shouldn't we? No?
It doesn't matter.
I mean, it does because I look like a fucking asshole. So for me, maybe.
Okay, Lando, we still think you're using the tires too much. Turn 4, turn 11, and the rears at exit turn 6 and turn 9. Oscar is 3.5. I know you do the right thing. Okay, Lando, 10 laps to go. We think both cars are using their tires too much. Just remember, every single Sunday morning meeting we have, fuckface, we talk about this every single Sunday morning.
Yeah, all right. Well, tell his slowpoke ass to catch up then, please, huh?
Lando, he can't catch you up, okay? You have proved your point, and it really doesn't matter.
Well, he's on the quicker tires. So, I mean, I would have had to try to undercut anyway. If I did, I would have gone. I mean, this guy just sucks at racing. What do you want me to do?
Mate, we did the stop sequence in this order for the good of the team. I tried to protect you, mate. I mean, I promise I'm trying to protect you. Lando, there are 5 laps to go. The way to win a championship is not by yourself, it's with the team. You're going to need Oscar, and you're going to need the team.
I mean, the longer we leave this, the riskier it's going to get.
Understood, Oscar. We're managing it. If there is a safety car now, it's going to make this very awkward. Please fucking do it now. Please do it now.
Yeah, just shut your fucking mouth. You don't need to say anything, and I never want to hear you in my ear again.
So for numerous laps, great dramatic reading.
Thank you.
I felt like I was there.
Oh, yeah. In the car.
I felt like I was.
Jeez.
D-Butt tried to send in the actual audio of that. We're like, no, please, we don't want to hear it.
Dramatic reading.
We got it.
We do not want to hear it. I think there was multiple people there that sounded similar, but we get the point. One was the strategist in Oscar's ear and also in Landon's ear, telling him what the case is, and then Landon just having to eat that. Imagine driving 200 miles an hour, Hungarian GP, you're the number 2 driver in the world behind it, and then you just got this guilt trip just getting laid on you, just every Sunday.
Yeah.
Remember what we talk about every single Sunday? You're going to need the team. You think you think you can do this all by, look at Lando. Oh, this guy's special. Think about that, AJ. That was this guy's life.
We know you'll do the right thing, Lando.
Oh, my God, the right thing. What if he responded with the right thing? I mean, let's go ahead and talk about the right thing. When I was 3 years old, my dad put me in a car and just goes through. What if he does an entire rebuttal while driving through
As he's driving in the race. Yeah, that's the crazy thing about it. He's driving the whole time they're doing this. So,
Do you remember
the stuff they have to deal with?
Do you remember 5 years ago when you guys offered me a terrible contract and I just drove because I just wanted to be a part of this team and I love this team and I grew up in this team and I said, yeah, I'll take less money. You know what nobody ever did for me? Just let me win the whole fucking race like I'm doing right now. So what is the right thing, WJ? And then he responds with, what about every Sunday morning? What about, there's like a full-on.
Back and
forth. That
forth.
was a full-on, I guess they did a check too because he didn't answer for a while. They're like, radio check. He's like, oh, I fucking hear you. Yeah, for like safety
He
reasons.
should have done that though. He should have. If you honestly, he should have just said, I don't know, my radio doesn't work anymore. Just like you can do with your helmet if you're calling the plays, as a quarterback. No, it didn't come through.
I believe Aaron said that sometimes you'll see other quarterbacks, not him, but other quarterbacks, obviously, that'll just go like, it's not working. And some equipment managers on the sideline, we tried everything. It should be working. It says it's working. We have it, and the coach is obviously very pissed off. Why is the head? It's okay. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, call your own play, keep it moving. Yeah, why doesn't Lando do that? Max Vanderstappen, I guess, does that.
Yeah, exactly. And wouldn't the bigger story be like finally some other guy other than Verstappen wins the whole thing? Like, wouldn't Lando winning and being the number one driver for the entire season or whatever the fuck they call it?
Gimmick G1, okay?
Yeah.
Has the most amount of popularity it's ever had, okay? Because the Drive to Survive and people are getting in the racing, and Lando's just got to sit there knowing that Max Verstappen's the guy that everybody just talks about, and Lando's like, yeah, they're actually telling me to lose, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Got a chance.
Because they all just got to sit in Verstappen's world publicly from an outside in.
In the shadow.
Now, literally, Phil Mickelson.
Exactly.
Happening right in front of us. Yeah. And Phil, imagine if Phil was being told at some of these tournaments as he's living in Tiger City, hey, we need you to need a double in 17.
Duff this,
need
please.
a double in 17.
What if agents in golf had that much power? Because we know there's agents that represent multiple players. What if they did that sometime? Like, hey, Scotty, you're already way ahead in the FedEx Cup. You just go ahead and you drop 5 shots back and let this other guy win.
And should we not be told at some point, because we can't gamble in these things?
Exactly.
I think, should we not be? Hey, Darius, what's going on with your league, dude?
Everybody's trying to race at the beginning. Everybody's trying to win the race, the whole race.
That's not true.
But he was
I have audio and video footage.
They let fucking Oscar Pistorius win.
That's not his name. Oscar Pistorius is poor little Tink Tink.
Yeah, you get it. Whatever.
It was fucked up though. They fucked up. They fucked it up, and it was put on Lando. But obviously, everybody's trying to win. But how they managed the race, they ended up
illegal.
They put Oscar in front. I mean, shit. I'm very pissed off about my bet not going through for sure. And then Lando, speaking of Lando and Max, like Lando and Max, they kind of grew up. They've been racing against each other since they were kids. But it's tough. But it's part of the sport.
It is.
A lot of surprise. A lot of great content.
Yeah, it is. Lucky to.
Are people still bitching about their bets? They didn't ask to refund those bets, D-Butch?
I'm sure they.
I would.
I'm sure that bitch.
TV.
Probably not a lot of people.
The thought of people bitching in the NFL if an interception happens late,
dude,
or a call from a ref happens late, saying it's a script they got screwed. That's a good point, Tone. Have you heard?
Or you don't score late, like. Somebody bet the over and you take a knee,
slide,
the clock,
or like a rebound.
Can you bet F1 though? Can you even bet F1?
Tone, that's a great question. Have you looked into this, Tone? Is there any uproar about people who have lost this bet after clearly hearing that their person that was supposed to win, wanted to win, was guilt tripped?
And he was on pole too, so he started on pole. So I'm sure a lot of
bets.
Yeah, AJ, you could bet F1. You could bet anything. You could bet badminton in the Olympics coming up. So you could bet anything. I don't know. I muted the words refund and then all the books that are associated with it, so I would never see those tweets again. So I honestly couldn't tell you.
You hate it.
I hate it.
It's gambling.
This is a different situation a little bit, but I hate it normally.
And he was on the pole. Like, I didn't know Lando was sitting on the pole to start the goddamn race.
Hopped right up on top of it, earned his way up there.
He loves sitting on the pole.
Yeah, that's where you want to be. That's where he wants to be.
Right. Lord.
In racing, for sure. Yeah.
Well, racing, that whole word, we don't know if we should be using that for them. Because racing would imply.
Yeah.
Right?
That's why I thought you might not be able to gamble on it, because it feels like the outcomes are already kind of pre-planned.
Yeah, and it feels like that even more so.
I mean, we don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but what we just heard.
It's a tough thing to bet on. I think I've never thought about betting on F1. I definitely will not be looking into it.
Yeah, I'm staying away.
NASCAR is racing. G1 is just driving.
It's a showcase.
Mm-hmm. It's different.
Your penguin illustration, honestly, I think was perfect. Whatever that penguin zoo, they march, like that whole thing was, it sounds exactly right.
It's the Peabody Hotel, basically in a bunch of different cities.
Yep.
Which is cool. It's a good showcase. These ducks just fall in line.
I need to see that. I've never seen that. It sounds fun.
It's every day, I think, at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock or 7 o'clock. I forget the number. Here it is. Here they are.
Yes.
What's going on? What's up, dude?
The same little ducks every time?
I don't know.
They're racing more than an F1. I misremembered this. I thought they walked in a straight line. Obviously, their wrangler didn't have that, a properly disciplined crew. I think the show is supposed to be one by one. I think these ducks are one. But once again, that fountain, you can't help. So those ducks have more drive.
Yeah.
Those ducks have more competitive spirit than what we saw in F1 this weekend in Hungary.
And their brains are tiny.
The ducks' brains?
Yeah.
If a bird had your brain, it'd fly backwards and whistle Dixie. Bill Stewart to Pat McAfee. It was a great line.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I certainly fucked up, and I was sitting there, and they said that in like a pretty serious way.
He said that serious?
Yeah, he was like talking shit, clearly talking shit to me, but like he was not thrilled with the situation that was going on. So like when it came out, I like started piecing it together. I'm like, I don't know that song, but so I don't know if my brain would be able to figure it out. But valid point. That's hilarious because like a bird has a small brain.
Sure.
So he was saying like that was like multi.
Yeah.
Your brain is smaller than and then how dumb my brain actually is. It was a very well done thing in the middle of practice. I'm just like, holy shit, that was good.
That's genius.
And then after practice, I went up to him and I said, that was phenomenal. And he said, I've been using it for 30 years or something.
Keep going.
And lo and behold, like a week later, somebody else got it. I think
Yep.
Owen Schmidt got it. Then it started coming out. And I was like, yeah, all right, now life is good. Rest in peace, Bill Stewart. You're the man. Any coach that has your back is obviously somebody you're going to appreciate for the rest of your life. Harbaugh with Lamar Jackson's cool. This has been a very cool kind of relationship to kind of see grow from the day he was drafted when people were asking him to go play wide receiver and nobody believed in him, all the way through them changing their offense, moving on from Joe Flacco. Harbaugh has invested fully in Lamar Jackson, and he's still doing that. He's missed a practice with some illness. I guess Harbaugh heard some shit talk maybe towards Lamar. I think a lot of people are expecting them to go on a deep run because of how great Lamar Jackson is. How do you feel about Harbaugh and Lamar? And whenever you see those videos or hear 2 minutes and 43 seconds, he went on a rant about how great Lamar Jackson is. That empowers a player. That is good for the entire locker room, AJ.
It's great for the whole locker room, especially because like he sees Lamar more than anyone. Like he sees him every single day in, day out, through the ups and downs an NFL season might be, and he is that like you could tell he loves this dude, and he really truly believes in him and what he's going to do. And it made me selfishly feel much better about my Super Bowl picking the Ravens to win it all when I hear Harbaugh stand up for his guy like this, when I know how great Lamar has already been in this league, to think that this guy's only getting better and better. Yeah, like the Ravens are in a good spot.
When you pick the Ravens to win it all, is it strictly because of the amount of meat that they have in that backfield?
That's a big part of it. Yeah, I know when it comes down to playing those cold weather, late in the season games.
The ones that matter. The ones that matter.
Yeah, you got Lamar with what all he can do, just enough headaches for every D coordinator in the league. But then when you think of Ricard and, man, Derrick Henry, like, what are we doing here? Like, these guys, yeah, they're in a great spot. And I think their defense is always going to be good, even though I know they had to get a new D coordinator.
Well, and that's the biggest thing is what we opened the show with. Like, does it matter? Because the Chiefs are so good. And
the Chiefs are so good.
That's what stinks. Like, Tony, I didn't know any of that shit.
AJ, did you hear the stats from Tone?
Yeah, a little bit. I heard, yeah.
No, you didn't, you liar.
Tone,
pretty good team.
The TV's back on behind you. Good work over there. I don't know if Bruce is running over.
Timed out, yeah.
Stepping on wires. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Can you read through those Chiefs stats again one more time?
Yeah, so last year, their offense, 21.8 points per game. Okay, that was the worst offense that Mahomes has ever had. Probably the worst offense that they've ever will have. Last year, before that, the 2022 season, when they won the Super Bowl as well, they had the number one offense in the NFL. They scored 30 points per game 9 times. They were number one offense in the NFL, 29.2 points per game. On defense is what carried them last year for most of the season while the offense was figuring it out. Number 2 points per game, number 2 yards. 8 of the 11 top tacklers are back. 10 out of 10 of the top sack men are back. They play 4 games versus the Raiders and Broncos and the NFC South, teams that we talked about that they are going to compete against. You guys just brought up the Ravens, but the Ravens have 3 new starters on the offensive line who have 2 starts between the 3 of them. The Bills lost a bunch of guys. The Burrows got health issues. The Dolphins, it's cold, so stuff like that. But the Chiefs, and the wide receivers, the weapons, Worthy, Hollywood Brown, Rashee Rice. None of those guys were starting wide receivers day one for them last year. All their starting wide receivers day one last year, and now they're on their 2 deep or they're number 2 on the depth chart or worse.
So the Chiefs are still the Chiefs, is what Tone's basically.
Yeah, and I completely forgot about Hollywood Brown. And when you just look at the Chiefs as a whole, like their biggest enemy is from the Super Bowl ending till now, and they made it through that. And who knows what happens with Rashee Rice? But like,
it got really rocky though there for a bit. We didn't know if they were going to make it.
Yeah, it did. But they did it. And like Kelsey is back home. He is in Kansas City. He's locked in. And you've mentioned this before with the whole Kelsey Swift thing. Like he's watched her do this whole entire thing. Probably more motivated to be the first team ever.
Let me hold up my end of the bargain.
Yeah, like exactly.
Like great people whenever they're together. I mean, that's why. You see a lot of these, to-dos where all these, they get inspired by each other.
Yeah.
You get motivated by each other. And it's like the fact that Taylor is who she is and I don't even know is it just music, I guess? Just entertainment?
It's entertainment. Yeah, I would say entertainment because they do, like, she does a movie of her tour. Yeah, exactly.
Full business person.
Uh-huh.
Everything. She's a dog. Absolute dog. So whenever you're around that, especially if you're somebody that's a driven person and also, top of the world, like, I feel like you feed off, I feel like you feed off.
It motivates you, yeah. And absolutely. I'm sure it motivates him, like, this is his 12th year in Kansas City. Like, I think even the whole situation, I'm sure he's like, hey, I want her to see us win it. Like, she only knows Super Bowls. She only knows the pinnacle of football. Like, he probably feels a little bit of that.
Dude, the song that she will write if they don't win the Super Bowl.
God, heartbreaker. And full season of Swifties, like the KC fans. Like, now we have a full season of all those Swiftie fans who strictly got into football because Taylor Swift was dating Kelsey. They'll now be cheering on the Chiefs. Like, the ratings for those games all year are going to be asinine as well. Not that matters specifically for the team, but it's just even more eyes on the Kansas
How
City.
many days until that whole thing starts?
We are 45 days away from NFL football.
That's awesome. And I love the people who think they're super football people. That's what they think. Get mad about talking about Taylor Swift. It's like, hey, dipshit. The numbers are bigger than they've ever been. You know why? A whole new demo just came into football. That's a good thing, not a bad thing. That's good for everybody's life at home, watching football. Like, everything. Like, there's the moments we're hearing about dads and daughters watching for the first time, like, ever because of Taylor Swift. It's like it's a very cool happening for the NFL. Like, this is cool for football as a whole. And then you think about somebody just
banging pots and pans.
That's me. I think that was my pen hitting against my little ashtray.
What is spin? Do you do a spin or are you just throwing it?
I twirl with like Con Man does.
Okay, around the thumb area.
Yeah, right and left-handed. Yeah.
You can do that with your finger.
Yeah. Started like in fifth grade, probably.
Hold it up.
Probably
and
fifth
do
grade.
It.
I can't hold. I mean, it's hard to hold it up and do it, but like I.
No.
But yeah, when you're holding, you want to hold up your neck like this and do it.
You nailed it, brother.
Walk around my apartment and do it sometimes.
Jeez Louise. Anyways, it's good that Taylor is a football girl.
Awesome.
Like, legitimately, it's awesome. And she is seemingly all into it, those games. I think she understands it. I think she appreciates it. The amount of business that goes into it all, I'm sure she fucking dives into and understands. It's cool. It is a good thing. That's why I don't understand the people that are like football people. I'm tired of hearing of it. It's like, it's good for football, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it's good for our sport.
It's the thing. It's like people feel like they're, I don't know. Yeah, you're right. Like, in a group, oh, man, they got to show Taylor Swift again. I'm going to turn the TV off.
Yeah, it's like,
okay,
dude.
Sure, buddy.
You know how they show in those crowds?
Right.
Let's get.
I'm going to watch the game. I'm going to watch the football game. They show her. It's not going to ruin my day.
If you're getting tired of seeing it too, you better get ready because it's going to get force fed.
So much worse than we are actually going to get to a point where it's going to be like,
But again, like you said, like, who cares? Like, you're watching the game. I'm not watching to say like, oh God, I really hope they show Eric Stone Street in the stands this game. And if they don't, I'm going to fucking kill somebody.
Oh, you're saying there seems to be a little bit of a difference of like Stone Street as a fan. Everybody's
people love it. Yeah, they love it. Paul Rudd, same deal. But they got a problem with Taylor Swift because she didn't like football last year. Well, who gives a fuck? Because she likes it now.
Yeah,
agreed.
Yeah.
It is so stupid.
It's dumb, man. But
faux outrage
and thinking
because it's hypocritical too.
Yeah,
like it's ruining football. Complete opposite. Did you see the NFL flag championships this weekend on ESPN? We talked to Peyton about it, and I texted to get a little bit more information from the fine folks at Omaha. I guess, like, obviously flag football with Peyton because of his kids and coaching, and then obviously the Pro Bowl. Like, he's learned a lot about it. He went to, I think, Vegas a couple times, watched their flag football championships, and then started going to work with the Omaha folks, and they created this NFL flag championships that was on ESPN this weekend. It's sweet.
Electric.
Like, it is sweet. It is a great opportunity for teenagers. It's a great opportunity for these kids to make plays. And it's that's the move. We learned that a couple years ago in flag football. If you're able to change your level, your hips level while moving full speed, that is a real winner in flag football. But there's like massive highlights coming out of this. These teams competed in their region to go on and represent their teams, just like the punt, pass, and kick has done for years and years, where you have local competition, then regional competition. They had tournaments to get to this point. That's That girl.
Saw that live.
Yeah,
That
me
was
too.
awesome.
That girl that threw that across her body, filthy.
Yeah.
Then the one-handed snag to get the foot inbounds, absolutely nasty. And it's like, I'm not saying that Taylor Swift got any of these people into football as a whole, but goddamn, could you imagine if, especially with flag football going into the Olympics, our women's team has to win. Has to win.
Yeah.
Our men's team has to win. And it's like the growth and development of this was awesome. Look at that. Filthy catch.
Nasty.
Another
There's
one.
Highlights all over the place, man. And these are teenagers. And it's like, what a moment to, like, I don't want to say flex, but like work. And it's like everything we've seen from these young wide receivers and these young corners in these drafts come from the growth and development of one-on-ones and 7-on-7s. It's like we're going to be able to watch it in these tournaments of the best teams of the best teams. It's like, it was awesome. I really enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would.
Yeah, I think this will also help the game continue to grow globally because you don't need, the pads and the equipment and this and that. Then you got a whole generation of parents and kids who like, oh, maybe tackle football is too violent. Like, I don't want to sign my 12-year-old up for, physical, real tackle football or my 10-year-old. And you get into this, and maybe at some point you do get into tackle football, but even if you don't, flag football can kind of be a standalone thing that people will look forward to watching on TV, look forward to seeing it on Olympics. I know I will. I know my kids will be watching, so this is very, very dope to see on the big stage.
Bravo, ESPN, Omaha, the U.S. flag or NFL flag, whatever is I think it's NFL flag. Congratulations. That was a wonderful event.
Huge success.
That was a wonderful event.
Home run.
And because it has the platform it has, like, I was seeing highlights that I don't think I would normally see. And I'm like, damn, who are they? And I started looking up the ages. And it goes everywhere from 9 all the way up to 15 for the boys. And then for the girls, all the way up to 18. It's like, okay, here we go. That was exciting to watch. And it's good football.
Yeah.
The one-handed catch by the girl was sick. Roll right, cross-body throwback from this girl. I mean, juke, spread, fallback, fade, throwback. What? I mean, that's a filthy play.
Yeah.
That is a filthy play. And I assume that this happens in flag football on a regular basis, and we just aren't exposed to it. So that's why even more so, bravo for the weekend, because a lot of us got exposed to it, I think. And this is going to be something that's only going to grow, I assume, continue to get better. And if you put this in a place like Cary, North Carolina, where they have all those fields, but they also have lights and like, not like huge stands, but enough stands. Like, this could become a premier off-season event for the NFL, for ESPN, for football as a whole, and for the future of the game. I'm a big fan of this, honestly.
Yeah, and we've been killing the New York Football Giants because of Hard Knocks, but actually the 18U team that won was the Staten Island team with the Giants logo. So you kind of have
congratulations,
team, right? Yeah, the girls team. Yeah, kind of had to, and it was the 18U group.
That's awesome. It was fun. The Binky mouthpiece.
You don't like them?
That's the way. That's all the craze now.
Yeah. I understand.
Thanks a lot, DK Metcalf.
Yeah, Plaxico
Whoa,
Burris.
Plex Burris. Okay, DK.
That baby from Hammer, Dahn, Tony Diggs, with respect, on Plexico Burris. But I have a 14-month-old, and that is exactly what it looks like.
Yeah. To Binky.
But I think it's sweet swag.
Yeah. Don't want to fuck your teeth up.
No, absolutely.
Go to Dick's Sporting Goods. It's big business. They have a huge section of just mouthpieces like that.
Binky mouthpieces.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, sweet.
They don't all have to have the little binky on the outside, but they are the big ones.
Did you guys wear connected ones? I hated the ones that weren't connected to your helmet because you couldn't just take it out and just not have to hold on to it.
What do you mean?
Like the mouthpiece,
like
the
strap.
Yeah, the strap. Sorry, having the strap connected to the face mask.
Oh, got it.
Nah, I wasn't
a big.
Yeah, not college. Guy. I think college we stopped wearing them. We got the molded. At least in my school, we started getting the molded, and obviously in pros, we all had the molded mouthpieces.
I never.
I hated having to hold on to it or put it in your helmet. So you just forget about it.
I don't think I wore it in high school. I don't think maybe college one. I must bit off my tongue one night.
Ooh. Yeah.
So the next game, I was like, I'm wearing a mouthpiece.
Give me a fucking mouthpiece.
Yeah, now.
And then I fucking hated it. I was like, no, I can't.
It's the worst, yeah.
And then after I make tackle, ref always comes over. It's like, you mouthpiece it. It's like, I'm a quarterback.
Sorry.
Probably concussed. But does the mouthpiece help with concussions? Data.
Yeah.
Survey says.
I don't know. We'll ask AJ. AJ, what is the data?
I think Dr. Allen Stills, I believe. I will defer to him. I'll defer to the great doctor.
And what did he
say? What did he say?
Yeah, the great doctor.
He said, actually, there is no evidence to prove that mouthpieces, reduce the amount of concussions or whatever. So I said, oh, cool.
Yeah, that's what Dr. Alan Silva
yeah.
said. And he only said that because AJ asked a very leading question.
Very leading.
Knowing that was the answer because this
I did not know that was the answer. I did not know that was the answer.
Oh,
I really
okay.
didn't. But I told you my theory. I had a theory about it, and it was proven right by Doc.
AJ wasn't the biggest fan of mouthpieces either. And now, granted, we all see his teeth.
Yeah, he's got new chompers.
Got new teeth. Yeah, maybe part of it too. I had a series of root canals going on too in the back that I splattered some teeth.
Yeah, what did you say? One thing went to dust. One of your molars went to
One
dust.
of my back ones. Yeah. I picked up a couple little shards off the turf though.
Yeah, so that's why he did. So he missed out on the protection.
Still worth it. Still worth it.
Yeah.
Mouthpiece probably wouldn't even have helped on that one.
AJ actually had AJ actually, yeah, the old ones, the heavy. He used to use it as a weapon. Actually, the heavier, the better. He said. Look at his neck. The reason why his neck.
Why would you want a lighter helmet? Why would you want a lighter helmet if you're going to be running to undo people?
Well, so everybody would say because you get more speed with the lighter helmet, and also maybe a little bit more comfort. But you said
Prove
no.
it. Prove it.
Well, more speed.
Prove it. Prove it that my that. Yeah, put different helmets on and run 40s, and you tell me what happens.
Well, do they have your neck size or no?
I don't know. I don't know who these hypothetical people are.
You're the one that set up the hypothetical.
Yeah.
I think whatever helmet I would be wearing, I'll probably be around the same speed.
And we know you ran like a 4.4 or whatever.
Yeah. And he wanted the heavier one because he was trying to kill guys. Like, I'm trying to send this guy to the fucking hospital.
Yeah, the heavier it is, you see when you throw it.
He's hitting me.
Yeah.
He's hitting me with a very heavy helmet. I need to equal that force with another heavy helmet.
Yeah, exactly. And you need to strengthen neck every day so that you can properly utilize the heavy helmet that you are getting just more than the other person who's certainly viewing it the same way you're viewing it.
Just to you do your traps and neck to protect your brain. That's what we do.
That's right. Boom. And mouthpieces, right?
Nope, not part of it. But they make them like my kid's playing flag football, and my other son's in 6th grade playing tackle. They make them wear mouthpieces.
How mad do you mad?
Bullshit.
You don't have to
no, I'm not mad. I was like, it's good.
Take that
a
out.
lot of them have braces and stuff. I'm like, yeah, you need to protect those things.
What if Axel put a mouthpiece in, did this, jumped right in the pool? He jumped right in the pool. What if he did that? What if he got his mouthpiece? Hey, Dad!
Watch this.
It goes, woo. What if he did that?
He pencils in like that. If any of my kids would do it, Axel would do it, but he would do it strictly to make me upset. Okay. So he would understand and do it for that reason.
Grab him by the throat, you little fuck.
No.
When you get past this little stage you're in right now, I know that you know not to do that in public. Yeah. So we're past this now, you and him. Tone, did we get anything wrong today? You know?
No, you guys are honestly spot on. I didn't hear one wrong thing.
That's cool. That was fun. Nice. I like that we're doing that now.
It's pretty sweet.
Just getting a little bit of confirmation on everything we said.
Yeah.
That's really good. Maziano, I didn't like what he did. I didn't like what he did this morning.
He knows what he's doing.
Classic Maz.
Yeah, because it's like, hey, man, come on.
We've done this song and dance already.
Yeah, we had. There's no reason. Maz, we respect Maz's work. You know, he's on TV a lot.
Yeah.
He's on TV a lot. He's got to do it a lot. But just to be like, they did 4 million interviews, it's not nothing he's saying making sense. It's like, would you like to sit down in a room one-on-one with him? Let's just see. You know?
Is he allowed to speak? Are you like, how much is he allowed to speak? How many interviews should he do?
Yeah, and what should he not talk about, Maz? Are you going to tell him what to talk about? Is this guy who's Hall of Famer, first ballot Hall of Famer in football? What is he?
Maz got something wrong.
Well, we don't do that. Okay, not to.
I think he said 4 snaps. I think it was 2 snaps, if I remember correctly.
No, it was 4th, I think. I think it was 4.
They get a first down?
I think they got a first down.
Yeah, they did.
Maybe.
Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was
wrong. Can't be the first.
Welcome back, Tony.
Yeah, hey, Tony.
Boy, Tony.
It's good to see you. It's been great to see you. All right, let's get the fuck out of here, huh? Monday Night Raw, Green Bay, Wisconsin.
The Resch Center? Is that the Resch Center? Well, you'll find out when you get there.
Bingo.
I heard they're going to have a good football team this year.
I did hear that as well.
Yep.
That was said at Milwaukee, Wisconsin party.
That's right.
That had some speakers.
Holds a lot of weight.
A wild time to be alive right now.
It's awesome.
Like, what's going on? The more I look into it, the more I'm like, no, this is why I never looked into it. Like, the more I start learning, I'm like, oh, this is why I try not to learn. And then I read it, and I'm like, no way, that's real life. Okay? No way that is real life. And then you read more, and then you watch something, and you go, that's AI. Never say that.
Gotta be.
Gotta be AI. It can't be in our world. These are the people that call us dumb that are doing all this. And then you find out it's real, and it's like, oh shit, I gotta get out of here. I shouldn't have learned that. How do I unlearn that? Then you think about going to Costa Rica and getting ayahuasca. So you can just maybe not learn what you just learned about it all. But then you wake up the next morning, you think to yourself, we got good people.
Yeah.
Exactly. Focus on those ones.
We got good people. We got great people.
All over.
We got great spirit. We got good times. We got good ideas. We got people that want to make the world better. We got that. That'll always win in the end, right? That's how it's always been. Shit gets real bad. Shit gets bad. Shit gets dumb. Then inevitably it rights its course. That's how this whole thing. Yeah.
It's a pendulum.
We're in a good spot. They'll figure it out over there.
Yeah.
They'll get the best person for the job for all of us.
Without a doubt.
I was in Milwaukee a couple days last week. I think they're going to figure it out.
You're in Milwaukee?
What were you doing in Milwaukee? Were you
Yeah,
eating
what's
cheese?
going on there?
Were you wearing cheese heads? What were you?
Yeah, scouting.
Is that where he was?
Scouting for the draft.
Could have been.
I was
That's
scouting
why-
for the draft location.
That's why he couldn't change the plan. Like, are you going to tell him to change the time?
What if we saw Tone there? What if we saw Tone standing up, clapping, dancing?
Yeah. Walking Hulkster off the
I
stage.
did get tagged a few times when the VP was announced as if I look like that guy.
He's an Ohio guy. Obviously, you're out of Pittsburgh.
Compliment.
Both got beards. I do like the comeback of beards from all the suits.
Yeah. It's a good look.
Coming back.
Yeah, they are. They're making a beard. Yeah, we're allowed to, have a little something.
Trump should grow a beard.
Yeah, I think
How weird would that look?
Or someone else.
your mustache looks really good. Schneidman's got a good mustache.
He does.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
All right, let's get out of here. Hey, smart people figure it out. We got to remember that.
it out.
There's too many good people.
And they might just not. That's also possible.
And we got to look
And
at
I
that.
think that's happened before, right?
Yeah, for sure. And guess what? We're still breathing.
True.
Still living.
Sun's still coming up.
Yeah, we're not just surviving, we're thriving. Come on, let's continue to do that.
Well said.
We're only how many days
45 days.
away from NFL football? We got college ball even sooner.
Right around the
Yeah,
corner.
I think that's more so like 37.
So all this stuff that seemingly is the dumbest people of all time doing dumb stuff every time. Okay, that's all going to be. We got football right around the corner.
Bingo.
That's right.
Let's remember
Life
that.
is so much better.
Stay focused on that. We need more Patrick Mahomes, deep ball to Xavier Worthy. We need more little side tosses to Travis Kelce. We need C.J. Stroud, Stephon Diggs. Whoa.
Okay.
Stephon Diggs working extra time with Nico, too, on get off and release. Whoa. Coming together, getting better. That's what we need. We need Anthony Richardson, leading the Indianapolis Colts down the field in a practice that says, oh, they're going to win the fucking Super Bowl. That's what we need. And we need Jordan Love to sign a contract.
Yes, we do. And he will.
Could go either way.
Very soon.
When
They're working on Kenny Clark. You had to get Kenny Clark situated. Okay, now we will finalize Jordan.
And Mulligetta won't say, we saw you prioritized other people.
Jordan Love will let Kenny Clark get done first.
Yeah, because team guy.
Yeah, and also, a little bit more in terms of the minutia with, doing a 3-year, $29 million deal and potentially the biggest deal in the history of the NFL. It takes a little more time. A little more time.
A couple more eyes to dot. T's to
Exactly.
cross.
Exactly.
Tone, anything from Hammer?
Don.
No, I think that was it.
All right, good work. All right, everybody in the back, great work. AJ, really phenomenal stuff. I'll see you in Green Bay tonight.
I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, you never know.
Okay.
Never say never.
See his jersey.
Boys, great work. We'll be back tomorrow with some more shit. We got Big Ten Media Days are here in Indianapolis. We certainly knew that before Friday at 5 o'clock. We certainly knew that. So we didn't send out some Hail Marys real quick to people we know.
Been playing for it.
Around Big Ten world. Like, hey, if you're in town, I heard you're in town. Congrats, you're in town. You're going to love it. Place is ready to go.
Yep.
Salt, phenomenal place.
Definitely go to there.
Phenomenal place. Owner, hands on. He is out there making sure you're having a good time.
Making sure the meal's better.
Oh, Johnny Salt, this guy, poured this sauce on top of this lobster crab sandwich thing I had because it was sitting out in front of us and nobody had eaten it. And he said, gotta try this, gotta try this, gotta try this. He dumps this thing on it and he's like, eat it, try it. I was like, all right, I will. And that was maybe the best sauce I've ever tasted.
Sauce is great.
I think you pour that on anything.
Oh,
I think you could have poured that on a napkin and been like, you gotta eat it.
Eat it.
It's really good. Then we went to Rathskeller, I believe.
Yes, sir.
Good time. Live music. Danny, the owner of that place, has been going to the same party for 30 years.
Danny Rath.
And he is loving it. What a place. That place was
Did you get a schnitzel?
Fantastic.
Didn't get any food. I do love the food there, though. Do love the food.
How'd you survive in there?
So we had quick answer, didn't survive anywhere.
No.
But
we've tucked away a little bit next to some old people.
it is an honor that is the case, and it is cool to see everybody. And when it stops, we're all fucked.
Mhm.
So, like, we kind of
Something to think about.
understand that that's how it is, and that is my mindset. So, literally try to talk to every human that we run into. But yeah, it's not going to be the easiest thing, especially with the convention that was in town. They brought in our demo.
Uh-huh.
I think it was like
The Eucharistic ministry.
boom. I think it was like 1,000 priests came.
What was that?
Priests and nuns walking around. We're doing dinner.
Yeah.
We leave dinner, go to Rathskeller. Nun walks right through the parking lot that we're walking around. Like,
Hell yeah.
Fucking, are you getting after it right now? Holy, is this like a rum springer right now?
Like good priest or bad priest?
I would assume that. Well, that's.
I mean, priests usually. I know a lot of priests that like to get plenty drunk.
That's kind of the thing.
That's the word.
Yeah, that was kind of and that's our demo too. They say Amish and priests kind of watch our show.
Yep.
Yeah,
Nice.
I saw
All right.
one.
We call Schefter
Welcome.
back. We call Schefter back. See where he's at.
Oh no!
Go Schefter. See how that's going.
Jeez.
Probably in the middle of his 15th interview. His daughter.
Oh, she's going to kill him.
So fucking fed up with it.
She might have already.
She's like, is this what you do every day in that soundproof office that we?
She's in the biz, though. So maybe she's
Yeah,
just
that's
listening
right.
for some scoops.
Not after this drive.
Yeah, she's like,
You know what, Dad? Fuck
sign
this.
up for that.
Scared straight.
What a show that was.
Good show.
Hey, got me.
Great show.
Got me. I got some trouble selling cigarettes in 5th grade. Okay, I was moving. Get them for 25 cents, sell them for 50 cents. All of a sudden, I'm drinking those little grape things at Extras. I'm a fucking kingpin. Then I get caught. They try to expel me, throw me into something else like that. Sally McAfee has to come to bat for me. Whole situation. And then, like, I get to I watch Scared Straight. Obviously, I get shown, like, hey, is this what we want to do? You want to sell cigs? It's going to lead to selling drugs. Look around, you fucking idiot. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. And then obviously you start watching Locked Up and 30 Days In, all these things. It's like, I can't fucking, I would fucking run my head off a wall. I was in jail for 12 hours. I fucking
couldn't do it.
I was trying to deframe.
No more.
That corner seems like the weakest one.
Start kicking.
It's fucking glass cage. I'm fucking like, that one's the one I'm going through. I'm scared to death in there. That's not true. It smelled like shit. I was uncomfortable.
Just miserable.
Miserable as fuck. Hungover. Wasn't that scared because I was in a glass cage. Nobody could get me.
Sure. You didn't kill someone either. You just got too boozed up.
Walking down the street.
Yeah, right.
In a parking lot. They had me in a half-moon parking lot. I had nowhere to go, and they knew that. And they parked 6 of them things.
Yep.
Box them in.
Whoa.
Don't shoot.
I was looking for somebody. Happy found you guys. Sit down right in the middle. Yep, gotcha. That was a wild night.
Do you think about running?
No. I was just trying to get home. I thought I had died. To be clear, I was walking down the street, thought I was dead because there was nothing. Like, I was in Broad Ripple. There was no humans. There was no movement. There was I thought I was dead. Like, literally, I'm like, oh, this is death. I'm dead. Cool. I'm the only person here. Phone broken, apparent water damage. It did rain, potentially.
Sure.
Phone didn't work. So I was just trying to. So as soon as I saw a car come, and it was the lady who inevitably ended up calling, I had $800 in my pocket. I did see that. And I'd won out with like 1,000 or something like that. So I was like, oh, not that. Like, I was like, oh, didn't spend that money. Pretty cool. And then I was just going to pay that person. She calls the police. I'm walking through. I think I'm fucked now because I live, 2-3 hour walk from where I was.
A little bit of a haul.
It was cold as shit, and I was definitely shirtless and wet. So,
yeah.
I mean, it was a bad scene in there. So no, I didn't think about running. When I saw a human show up, I was actually pretty.
Thank God.
Save me. Take me in, please. Give me a shirt and blanket.
So I'm not dead. Jesus Christ. Thank God. No, you're not dead, but you're going to jail. Okay. Fuck. I live like 15-minute drive that way. How are you getting there? I'm walking. Somebody's picking me up. No, now you're lying. Maybe somebody picks me up.
I don't know.
Chance.
Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who could have picked me up then, but he chose not to. Adam Schefter.
Yeah,
Shefty.
Shefty, where are you in Pennsylvania? How's it going?
We had a lovely visit to a gas station, a Valero gas station in Drums, Pennsylvania, on North Hunter Highway, where my wife enjoyed going to the bathroom there. She texted one of her friends, like, you ever go to the bathroom in a gas station? And she's like, yeah. Yeah, it's not something regular. My wife doesn't leave the house very often. She's taking care of the dog, so she's not usually going to the bathroom in a Pennsylvania gas station.
Well, welcome to life. Hey, excited to hear that. And some of those gas stations, Not bad. They turned the front of that thing into a Walmart.
Yep.
You can find some real gems on that road out there if you want
You know what? We hadn't eaten. I was able to get a Gatorade bar and pretzel chips, the first food I had today. And I was disappointed because the next exit, I saw a Wawa. And I'm like, oh, I would have liked to have gone to a Wawa. Like, that would have been big today.
There's a Sheetz around the corner there in Pennsylvania. Obviously, go in there. You go hit that touchscreen, get an MTO.
Yeah. Big Moz.
Change your, like, get a Big Moz, like
Yeah.
your Joe Hadley. I mean, there's a chance that you're about to experience life as a whole. Is the family okay? We thought about how miserable it has to be in there with you doing interviews, like us talking to you. What a terrible time that had to be for everybody else in that car. So we kind of sent our positive as it. Is the family okay?
I appreciate you saying that, but they're used to it. That's sort of the life we've all chosen, and they're very good about putting up with it. And again, I feel bad for the people stuck at the airport because I'm just telling you, it's massively underplayed as to how bad it is right now and how bad it's going to continue to be this week with all these people stranded in airports in Detroit and Minneapolis.
All right. Well, safe travels to all of them. It sounds like you're in for it, but we appreciate the fact that Schefter said, I'm going to figure this out.
Yep.
Gets a car. Says, take me to a Valero, Wawa, Sheetz.
What?
Just get me home so I can journal about all of this. You're the man, ladies and gentlemen, Adam Schefter.
Yeah, Shifty.
Cheers, man. That sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, brutal.
Did he say underreported? Is that why they slowed it down, the service?
Underplayed, I think.
Underplayed?
Yeah.
Is this all still from the whole whatever
Glitch?
deal that happened with the glitch that shut down
You talking
computers?
about the software update?
Yeah, just the old update that they ran through and just screwed over like a billion people.
How does that happen?
At least.
Just what's an update? You know how it works.
2024, all that fucking police department, airport, like banks, like
Not Thunderdome.
Scary.
Obviously.
That's pretty scary.
Pretty scary.
It's very scary.
Yeah, I think it's pretty.
like a practice run.
Watch Mr. Robot.
Oh no!
No, it was an update.
Yeah, sure.
Whoa!
Like a walkthrough.
Not now, Butch.
Whoa!
Then they will come for this place.
Money.
Splash.
It's too strong.
A little juiced up. A little juiced up today.
That's too strong. Oh yeah! Oh, gotcha that.
Same spot.
A little higher.
Oh.
Close.
It's got something in my eye. I'm never gonna make
Oh,
it.
no.
Something just got in my eye.
Oh no.
Do the Jordan. Just close your eyes and do it.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Yeah. Close them.
That would have been so much
I
fun.
mean, red idea.
That would have been
It's
so
a
much
little
fun.
deep.
There you go.
Too strong. Hey,
It's all
tomorrow,
fucking jacked up.
We'll get weaker. We'll get weaker for more. Tomorrow should be a good one. What's Braun Breaker going to do tonight?
Can't wait to see.
Saw
Kill
somebody. in
somebody.
half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully
someone
beats the
down.
shit out of Sami Zayn again.
Strowman was playing tackle at practice day. Green Bay Packers practice.
Yeah, I saw Matt Steinman posted that a big son of a bitch. Braun Strowman was at Green Bay Packers training camp. Love that he got out there. Steinman thought it was Bakhtiari. How big he was. Oh, is that Bakhtiari?
wow.
Oh, no, that's fucking Braun Strowman right there. Talked about him
I
today.
mean, some coaches want to get some pads on that guy. No question.
He is vast.
He is.
Yeah.
Like that is
How tall was he?
for 6'8", maybe 6'7".
I mean, you look at him just compared to people.
There's WW. Oh, big dog. Great to see the WWE team out and about with him. The guy with hair right here is very focused. Here on the left. I don't know who he is.
Pete Holmes?
Is that who
Kind of looks like him.
He's got an Apple Watch. I appreciate
Is
that.
that a sneaky Otis behind him?
That is Otis, isn't it?
I can tell those legs anywhere.
I mean, Strowman's
not been
legs
Miss
are
Otis.
fucking
Nah, I
huge.
don't know. Look at that shadow. You think that's Otis?
I think so.
No.
Those shoulders.
The way the arms are makes me think it might be.
That's not, right?
I was gonna say,
Yeah, but all the shadows. Look at Strowman's shadows, tiny too.
Yeah.
Nah, that one's going
That's
on.
above
What are you-
sun
You saying the sun's not real? What are you saying?
in Green Bay.
Yeah, but look at all.
Strowman's shadow.
Otis is there.
So that's Otis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's Otis.
Those legs.
Hey, they need the camera on Otis.
Yeah. That man at nose tackle.
Otis is in for one tonight. He's in one tonight with Xavier Woods and six-man tag against Authors of Pain.
Oh,
jeez.
good luck.
Yeah, I'm a little worried.
Those guys are
Yeah.
A
nukes.
little worried for Otis
Is it
tonight.
Tozawa? Is it
let's
those
see
three
here.
versus the authors?
Did you find the graphic for the match?
Paul Erling getting in the ring?
I hope not.
What the hell's going on? Oh, there's a Packers video with Otis in it. That's going to be a great video. We will retweet it immediately. He is must-watch, Otis.
Love Otis.
He comes on the screen, something magical is about to
happen. He has a strap.
Yeah, he's going to work for it. You know, he got out from underneath Chad Gable's fucking dictatorship at the Alpha Academy.
Good for him.
Yeah, it is good. That was a big decision. Happy for you, Otis.
Love you, Otis. Love
Chad
you,
Gable
Otis.
would never let him go to Green Bay Packers practice.
No, he wouldn't have.
He would have been guilt tripping him harder than fucking Lando's team over there at the Hungarian G1.
Yeah.
But if Otis is on the field, I mean, there's a chance that Jordan Love deal gets done now.
Yeah.
Gooch Goose, Jordan Love, Dave Mulgeta come over, they meet Otis, they feel how awesome this guy is. They're like, hey, let's get something done. Look at this. Look at this. Otis is here. Let's go ahead and do that. And then all of a sudden, you know, everybody's happy in Green Bay, Wisconsin because fucking Otis is there. And then Otis starts getting a little bit more opportunity, a little bit more fame in the football world. And all of a sudden, Otis isn't only our champion, he's the Democratic nominee.
Hell yeah.
That could all happen today.
You can only hope.
That's crazy. Go on, Otis.
Come on, Otis.
Go on,
The
Otis.
time's now.
All right, let's get the fuck out of here. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change their life. We're in this thing together. Let's never forget it. Team on me. Team on three. 1, 2, 3. Team. Goodbye.